Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching or listening to me from. My name is Ayo T, and this is Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian football. This is the Naija FC Podcast, where we bring you our raw, our honest, unfiltered opinions on all the hottest and latest topics in the world of Nigerian football. On today's episode, we have transfer talk, we have controversial interviews, we have a prodigal son returning, we have the Flamingos, we have the Super Falcons, and of course, we have the Super Eagles and the Eagle Striker Awards to discuss today. With me, as always, I have my reliable co-host, Smilai.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for actually having me. Apologies for coming late. I didn't see the earlier message. That's the reason why, I didn't prepare for it enough. But yeah, I'm here now. Different location, but
Are you on vacation? Because this is your
no,
background is
no, I'm not on vacation. I'm in the back garden. It's okay. It's very, very warm inside. So just trying to, just do it quickly here.
we love it. We love it. Thank you very much for still, coming on. The people said I must wait for you, so I've been waiting for you.
Nice to be here.
All right. Smilai, we have quite a bit to talk about today.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. Of course, the season is not yet officially on, even though some of the lower leagues they've started playing in the qualifiers for the Conference League, for the Europa League, for the Champions League. Some Nigerian players have been in action already. We wouldn't really touch on that a little too much, but I just wanted to point out that some players have started their seasons. But let's jump into the transfer talk. We have a few transfer topics to talk about. The first one I want to talk about is Akor Adams. We've been here for, I think, the past 3 weeks. We've spoken about Akor Adams every single week. And right now, he's on the verge of completing a move to Venezia FC after the Italian side reached a deal with Sevilla for his transfer. It's reported to be just over 16 million euros guaranteed, with add-ons that can potentially take the total package to about 23 million euros. We know previously that he had already agreed personal terms with the club, so that is not even an issue. From a business perspective, it's an excellent deal for Sevilla. They only signed Akor Adams from Montpellier for around 5 million in January of 2025, meaning that after just one season, they are looking at a substantial profit. And he justified his value last season for them. After coming from injuries, he finished last season with 10 goals in La Liga, and he got 3 assists. So, Smilai, my first question that I have for you again, is moving from Sevilla to Venezia a good step for Akor Adams in his career right now?
No, there's no way to cut it out your teeth. I've been hearing some people saying that we don't know the context of the move. We don't know what is happening, what happened behind the scene in that move. We don't want to know. We don't have personal relationship with the players. I'm not a stakeholder in Sevilla. I'm not saying that, I'm not a fan to tell Sevilla to go and make more money. I'm looking at this move from a footballing perspective and as a Super Eagles fan. It's not a good move to go to a relegation club that that they will fight for their lives, to survive in Serie A. So, in my opinion, I don't think it's a very good move. I'm not talking about somebody with inside info now. I don't want to know any info. That's why I'm not close to players. I'm just talking about as a Super Eagles fan. It's not a good move. I don't want my Super Eagles striker to be going from a well, structured, maybe probably very good team. We see, potential of bouncing back, to a relegation potential fighter, Venezia. No matter the millions they have, Italian Serie A is Italian Serie A, IoT. So how many business are they doing now, currently? They have been shouting all over the media. So how many business Venezia are doing? So in my own opinion, I don't care. I just think that it's a very bad move as a Super Eagles fan.
Well said. And here's what I think. Is this a move that makes me excited? No, unfortunately, it does not. I like Akor. Akor is somebody that we have a good personal relationship. I will say this. I have a good personal relationship with Akor. Like, we talk every once in a while, we chat, So I like him. But from a fan's point of view, it does not excite me in any way. It does not make me look at it and say, oh, he's moving, he's progressing, in his career. Like you rightly mentioned, people always talk about, but people need to understand the nuances of these transfers, the profits, Sevilla needs money. And while all those things are true, if I'm speaking from a fan's point of view, and I tweeted this, I replied to JB and I tweeted this, I'm like, see, unfortunately, Fans are fans because they respond out of emotion and out of passion, not because they are going to understand the full intricacies of the football business to make sense of a transfer. What the fans are seeing is Sevilla, mid-table La Liga club. Okay, they struggled, last year, but they still finished. Is a team that has legacy, multiple Europa League titles, a team that has the potential to bounce back. You are now living there after a good season to join a newly promoted side that probably look like they are one of the favorites to go down in the upcoming season. Point blank, when you put it that way, it doesn't say good move, it says bad move. My only hope and prayer is that they invest well, they surround him with talent that can help them to continue to progress. I know that for Akor and his agents to have said this move is the move that they want to take, they should have thought about it deeply and understood what they're getting themselves into. Some people are saying Nigerian players need better agents. Look, Akor Adams' agent is not by any means a bad agent. Atta Aneke is a respected agent. He's an agent that does good business. He's the same guy who took Victor Boniface to Bayer Leverkusen to go and win the German Bundesliga. So he did not all of a sudden become a stupid man to make a bad move for his clients. There's probably circumstances and everything. They've thought about it and they think that the project makes sense for him. Maybe it's the financial side of it as well that is enticing. Who knows what it is? So I don't think it's necessarily a case of bad agents. We obviously as fans don't know the full story. One thing that I don't do is I don't really message players to be asking them for the full story. If they want to offer the information to me, they can offer it to me. If they don't offer it to me, I leave them be with their personal lives. They don't come and ask me how much I'm making as well. So I don't ask them all of that. So I am not so excited about it, but from a football, fans point of view, a player that I like, a human being that I like personally, I really, really hope that the team doesn't struggle too much. I hope that he can still do well and his own personal stock can continue to improve. But talking about the Italian Serie A, do you think that even this style of play would suit a player like Akor Adams?
With due respect to the team, we don't expect them to have ball possession, all the time. And we have seen players like this, they depend on counter-attack, transition. And, it's just bad. I don't know. Because I'm looking at, it's similar to Just move to Cremonese, if you remember the move.
Yes.
That did not materialize. It was similar to Rafiu Durosimi now. That move. So when you play for a team like this, you want to go and suffer there. So maybe probably, an IoT, this move could catapult him to something better. But this move could also derail his career. Let's be self to ourselves. If he's there and he's got 0 goals in in the first maybe 10 or he won't get called up to the national team. So it's either way, that is it. That's why sometimes people blame against. I understand from that angle, but I'm just saying it from a footballing perspective. I'm not. I know. Like you said, I know Akor, fantastic guy. I know his brother, met him in Morocco, fantastic family. But I'm not advocating for their family now. I'm talking as a Nigerian fan. So that's why I'm saying this. Forget about people with personal relationship, but I'm just saying this is where I see it. I don't think it's a good move. Even with the pattern of play you said, I don't think so. You're going to be playing against, spending most time defending. It's not.
And that's the thing. It's like it's such an interesting thing because when we speak like this, sometimes the players hear it, they get upset, they get offended, they unfollow, they block, they react, they comment, whatever the case may be. But again, we've seen it many, many, many times. When Nigerian players join a relegation threatening club, most of the time it has not worked out. I think if I'm thinking back, the only one that I know that has kind of worked out is the Nottingham Forest boys with Taiwo Awoni and Olaino. And if you remember, even that first season, Awoni had to drag them to survive relegation before they were able to stabilize themselves as a Premier League team. But even last season, they were relegation threatened again, but they managed to survive. And speaking of players joining relegation teams and it's not working out, that transitions me to Tolu Arokodare. Tolu Arokodare only joined Wolves last season. We remember saying, hey, it's the Premier League, but Wolves is a team that is going to struggle. And that's exactly what they did. They got relegated from Premier League. And now we're hearing that Tolu Arokodare is on his way out of the club. We know that Fiorentina, the Italian side, they had an initial offer made and the offer was rejected by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Turkish club Trabzonspor have also sent a proposal that was also turned down by Wolverhampton Wanderers. But we already know that Tolu Arokodare was not included in Wolverhampton Wanderers preseason team. So it looks like he's for sure on his way out, but we don't quite know where he's going to end up. Fiorentina seem keen on signing him, but nothing has been agreed right now. Arokodare, of course, last season was a difficult season for him. 6 goals in all competitions, only 3 in the Premier League, relegated, really could not get to start games. Smilai, do you think a move to Fiorentina would be one that Arokodare should jump at the opportunity?
Yes. Fiorentina is not a bad team. There are teams that can revive players' career, if need be. Moiskin went there when everything did not work well for him in Everton, for him in Juventus. He went there and he did so well for Fiorentina. So it's possible. And to also talk about Arokodare, that's another example of how joining a relegation side can lower your profile. It was our beautiful bride when he was in Genk, in Belgium. He came, he scored against Russia, scored against Rwanda. He's a second choice striker in the Super Eagles. Remember, after Victor Osimhen.
Yes.
But when he joined Wolves, he lost everything. He lost his place in the national team. He didn't go to the AFCON. Nobody will bet. In fact, you can't bet that Arokodare will not be this year's AFCON. You cannot bet that. A player that's already ahead of Boniface in the national team. People say that, okay, you know what? If Osimhen is not even playing, and he scored, and Osimhen's absence against Rwanda. So that is one thing. He needs to join a club side that are ambitious. Fiorentina is a very good move for him, and I think that Victor Osimhen will advise him well. If to join Fiorentina will be very good. I don't want Trabzonspor. I'm tired of this Turkish side. I just hope that are they like the devil? At our back. Just chasing our players right, left, and center. To join the Turkish side. I don't want Trabzonspor. The one what they do for our life is enough. He likes to go to Italy, and I know that he's going to play well in Italy.
Do you think he'll get into the Fiorentina team with Moiskin?
For them to want to lure him in, I think that he's slow. The Fiorentina suits him slightly, and if you give him the ball, he will score. It's just that we've seen strikers in a way that plays that they don't perform well in the Premier League, go to the Italian Serie A and do well. We have players like Luca Toni, all those type of strikers are Italian strikers. Morata, this guy too, that is a striker before Osimhen, in Napoli. What's his name again? Is it Milik? Is it Malik? I don't know.
Yeah, Arkadiusz Milik.
Milik, yes. You see those type of strikers, they are built for the Italian Serie A. It might not necessarily be good for the Premier League, but I think Tolu will do well. So, Fiorentina, we put him back our lips, and you never know what will happen.
All right. And let me also ask, do you think maybe the Premier League should take another chance on him, or is that one season enough for people to say he's not particularly suited to be a Premier League striker?
Which Premier League club want to take him on him? The only club that you
might
No. All City. Let's talk about All City. They are the ones that are primed to go back. Let's look at the profile of the players they actually would have. It's when you want to buy a player like that, did he help Wolves survive? It's just similar. When West Ham was buying relegation players, they are relegating clubs for a purpose, and they are buying them. They are buying players that got relegated in a particular club. That's how West Ham got relegated. So these clubs too that are battling for relegation, they're also wise now. They want a Premier League proven striker. Tolu is not proven the Premier League. And how old is he now? Is he 24 or 25 years of age?
I'm not sure his exact age.
And he needs to go and prove himself in other place, then come back. Yeah. Don't forget that he has not really proved himself in the top league. He was in his early career. He was in Cologne. He didn't do well in Cologne,
Yeah.
So he needs to go and prove himself. Maybe probably score like 15 goals in the Italian Serie A and come back again. Maybe probably go with a better player.
Yeah, Tolu is 25 years old, and you're right. I mean, he had a stint in Germany, didn't do so
Mhm.
well. Had a stint in France, didn't do so well. Was able to revive himself in Belgium, and then Premier League also did not go well for him. So if he's able to join an Italian Serie A club and score goals in Italian Serie A, then he can show the world, he can show scouts, show coaches that he's able to perform in one of the top five leagues. I definitely think that this Fiorentina move is a good move for him. Definitely better than joining Wolves. Look, Fiorentina also struggled last season, but they're a team that we know have a better ability to sustain themselves, and they have a chance of getting themselves back on track. And that's what a signing like Tolu Arokodare would do, to help them to push further. I think that if he joins them, he would still start as their second striker behind Moiskin, because Moiskin has been delivering for them. But look, Moiskin is someone that we know to be relatively inconsistent, and sometimes he can get injured. So in his absence, Tolu Arokodare will be able to come on and do a job. And like you mentioned when you were speaking, Arokodare is one of those strikers that if you give him the ball, he's going to score. And that was an interesting thing, because if you go watch the goals that he was scoring in Belgium, a lot of it were tap-ins, balls into the box where he finishes late. Very few times does Tolu Arokodare create his own opportunity and score a goal. He's not a hurricane. He's not an Mbappe. He's not one of those strikers that can create a chance for themselves. But when you create for him, and that's what he did not have at Wolves. Wolves were such a bad team that he did not have a supply line. They're basically just hustling. He's just jumping in the air, trying to win second balls. That's what he's doing the entire match, trying to chase lost causes. So Fiorentina, he might be able to do better than what he has done. Going to the championship with Wolves can be a way for him to still up his profile, but it seems like both parties have already determined that he's going to be on his way out. So we're following that story, and we'll see what happens. One more transfer rumor that I want us to take very quickly is a guy that you mentioned when we were speaking earlier, Rafael Durosimi. Right now, we've heard that Genk are in the market for a new striker, and according to HNB in Belgium, they are very keen on Rafael Durosimi from Pisa. Pisa are looking for around 10 million euros to allow him to leave. Genk maybe don't quite have the money right now, but they are doing some transfers. They're trying to sell some players, and they might be looking to sign him. Genk is a club that we've seen success with Nigerian players in recent years. We know that Paul Onuachu succeeded, did very well at Genk. Tolu Arokodare succeeded, did very well at Genk. Can Rafael Durosimi become the next Nigerian striker? Steven Ode, yes, also had there's more. So can Durosimi become the next Nigerian striker to go to Genk and light the Belgian league on fire?
No, he's got the profile of players, and you really rate him highly. He's not, I like his footballing prowess, but I don't know what happened to him during the Unity Cup. He didn't really do well for Nigeria, but I think that he's a player they can invest in, and actually come and do well for them. So for me, see, which club want to buy Durosimi? I say you want to play in Serie B, and I'm hearing that you want to maintain sports in national team if he has one. So I think it's a very, very good move for him. And don't forget that Belgium is where our players thrive. Even Victor Osimhen, Belgium is like I don't know how you put it. Where you have to learn your stuff,
It's a proving ground for many.
Proving ground for Nigerian players. Awoni went to go and prove himself in Belgium, before he could go to Germany, and so on. So for me, I think it should go there, and I think that it might be probably the next guy, in our list for me. He's going to be having Christian Appan crossing the ball for him. So let's stay here.
And the thing is that, look, in life, not only in football, in life, sometimes you have to take one step back to take two steps forward. So like you always use the adage of when Ram wants to come with power, it's first move back. And on paper, he might look at it and say, "Oh, this is a guy that joined an Italian Serie A club, and all of a sudden he's going to be going down to the Belgian league." On paper, might not be the best thing, but we know that the Serie A move did not quite turn out for him. It didn't work. He joined a struggling team. He got relegated. So if he has to take his talents to Belgium, score 20, 25 goals in Belgium, and show people that he's a very good striker, then his next opportunity might just be closer than we think. And we know this one for sure. The Belgian league is one of the highly, highly scouted leagues in the world. If a player does well in Belgium, somewhere, people are watching and people are looking at you. Durosimi is now 23 years old. So he's not a young star anymore. I mean, maybe he still just slightly qualifies for Young Player of the Year award. But beyond that, he's getting into the time where he should be a more established striker. And playing in the Italian Serie A B will not give him the kind of visibility and exposure that
Yeah,
playing in the Jupiler Pro League in Belgium will give him. And we know that Genk is also one of those Belgian sides that competes, season after season. They might not necessarily win the title, but
yeah,
they're always, around the title picture. The years that they do well, they end up playing in Europe, they end up doing pretty good. So I think it's a good one for him. I really hope that he makes that move if that's the best offer that he has on the table right now. And let's see what happens in the season. We'll really be following him, and we hope that things can go well for him. And then what happens after Genk, we'll worry about that when that time comes. But for now, I think it could be a nice way for him to just get himself back into the picture, let people continue to see the quality that he was showing, when he was in the Czech Republic. So yes, that is that for Rafiu Durosimi. I just want to take a quick super chat comment here that I have from Brand Momentum. He says, I think he's talking about Tolu. He says he doesn't press either, and even when you create for him, he needs a lot of supplies because his aerial scoring ability is not there. So that's what Brand Momentum was saying about Tolu Arokodare. All right. Let us proceed. We have a few more transfer stories to talk about. One that I have here is the transfer of Super Falcons. Sometimes I don't know what to call her. Super Falcons will tell you she's a midfielder. Her club will tell you that she's a forward. But I'm talking about Antoniette Toni Payne. She has joined Inter Milan in the Italian Serie A Femini. She signed a contract until June of 2028. Or of course, last season she played for Everton Women in the English WSL. Born in Birmingham, Alabama, in the USA, she began her journey in the US before moving to Europe. She played with Ajax. Then she later moved to Sevilla in Spain, where she had the most successful spell of her career. She's become one of Nigeria's most consistent players playing in Europe. She's, of course, represented the Super Falcons at WAFCONs, 2 WAFCONs now, I believe. She's gone to the Women's World Cup as well. And now she's taking the next step in her journey, joining Inter Milan. We know that AS Roma are the current champions of Italian football, where Sugar Oladipo and Risa Babajide play. But do you think a move to Inter Milan is a good step for Toni Payne, especially at this point in her career? What do you think?
yes. Inter Milan is not a small team in Italy. Juventus, Inter Milan, AS Roma. They actually were dominating Italian football. So it's not a bad move. I call her the Johnny woman. She's been everywhere. She was in Sevilla. She went to England. Maybe it's going to be Saudi Arabia next. Who knows? But happy for her. The good thing is that she's a very, very good player. She proved herself in England. This female football team, you are very close to them more. I know that this is a transfer, and there's no rumor. Just can happen, before you know it. there's no there's no rumor. So happy for her. It's very competitive, and maybe probably Italy is now the new mecca of our female players because you can see Morris Ojabayide and Shukra Oladipo playing there. I think Jennifer Chegin played for Juventus, in the past.
For a short time, yeah.
Short time, and also we also have Toni Payne now playing for Inter Milan. So they are rich in history, but you know that Italian Serie A is not the cream de la cream, in terms of women football in Italy, but in Europe, but she can be part of the new history.
Yeah, I mean, Inter, they are really desperate to get back on top in the Italian Serie A. Last season, like I mentioned, they lost out to AS Roma. They finished second, but they know that the top is where they are supposed to be, and they are hoping that she'll be able to play a role in helping them to achieve that. So it will be very interesting to see what she can offer in that squad. I quite like this move. Toni Payne is now 31 years old. Sometimes it's easy because she has a small stature and everything. It's easy to think that she's still one of the 23, 24-year-olds, but she's 31. She's getting into the latter years of her career, whether we like it or whether she likes it or not. So I think it's a move that helps her to continue playing at a high enough level in women's football, helps her to continue to have the chance, even more of a chance now of winning a trophy than she did when she was playing in Everton. And she mentioned that her main goal is to play in the UEFA Women's Champions League. So that's something that she's really keen on doing. And Inter is a club that she can potentially win the title and be able to play in the Women's Champions League. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I like Toni Payne. She's someone that I've interviewed in the past, maybe more than once even I've interviewed her. She's a very nice person. She'll be going to the WAFCON with Nigeria. And hopefully when she returns to her club, she's able to have a very, very exciting season and at least win a trophy. So yes, we'll be keeping tabs on that one. And the more Nigerian players in one league, the better for me, because it makes my tracking job easier when they are concentrated versus spread around. I mean, she left England. I'm still watching England because of Dozier, Miron, and the rest. But yes, I'm happy for Toni Payne, and yes, I wish her all the very best in this move. Adedosun said she is real 31 years old, and not on paper. Yes, she's real 31 years. If everybody's using real age, some of the younger ones are older than her. But that's not, it's not for me to say. I'm nobody's father. Well, yes. Shout out to Remy Ali. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
Do you know Remy Ali?
I know him. Yes, I know Remy Ali. He's somebody that is always supporting us.
Do you know if it's like one-on-one? No.
No, I don't know him one-on-one. I've not.
Okay.
I've never met him.
I met him in France.
You met him?
Yeah, you just IoT. Where's IoT? This and that. So I just remember I met because during the Nigerian Brazil game, I met him after. So very, very good man.
And that's something I was talking about earlier before we really started the show. I was saying it like I want to meet people in person, man, because it's so incredible to me that when I see the number of people that actually support and follow the channel, like I want to meet people in person. Because it's just a special feeling meeting community in person. Okay, another transfer that has happened. It seems like the prodigal son has returned. The prodigal son has returned. I'm talking about Stanley Nwabali. Stanley Nwabali is back at Chippa United just 5 months after leaving the club, reportedly in search of a bigger move. The Super Eagles goalkeeper terminated his contract in February, expecting to secure a transfer elsewhere, despite links to several clubs around the entire world, including some of South Africa's own bigger teams. No deal materialized, leaving without a club for months. Of course, this meant that he was also left out of the Super Eagles squad in recent months. Now, Chippa United have welcomed him back. They've described his return as a boost because of his experience, leadership, and influence in the dressing room. We cannot forget that Nwabali was named as the captain of Chippa United before he left the club as well. So, now that he's back, Smilai, do you think this was a good decision for him? Or should he cover his face more as he's returning to the soccer?
It's like, I don't really know this popular phrase called Jack Pada.
Jack Pada, yes.
Yes, Jack Pada. So for me, and when I posted the story, I wanted to write something more, but I have to delete it and repost it again. But I just used that that song from Tenny to summarize it. Sometimes success is it's like a setup. Expectations will be high, but than you personally know your level. Don't be deceived. It's okay. So success is a trap sometimes, and and people hype him. Somebody said that America that he went to, in my view, on trial. But we don't have any information to back that one up. But I'm just saying that IoT is just crazy that Nigerian first choice goalkeeper could not get signed by a Libyan club.
But he's 30 years old now. Could it be age?
Well, you forget if Osinha is going to Breha in Brazil, 40. Osinha can give birth to Nwabali if they were born like goats. So you cannot sign for Saudi Arabia Division 2, so I hear. So all those KPR move now audio is the agent cooking all those moves. It's so sad. It's so sad. I wanted him to, because South Africa, he don't conquer. Okay, out of the PSL team self.
Not even Kaiser Chiefs, Orlando.
Kaiser Chiefs can sign him. Small time now when you come down, you come with stories. Say, it's because he did not agree with something. I said that there's only one serious club that was really in for him. So it's a Malawian club. But it's okay. We're still complaining about Tanzania. So our keeper is now keeping in Malawi. That one will not even go with us. But for me, is for him to be active. IoT,
Mm.
let him stay there. But IoT, you mentioned something. When he left, that was when Chippa escaped relegation. They were having bad results.
Mm.
IoT, you know this.
Yeah.
When he was there, but when he left, they managed to escape relegation. The guy that kept them in that out of that relegation as a goalkeeper. Do you think they can?
Mm.
Do you think I'm just talking. That's it.
Yeah. Even on the final day of the season, they had a big game and they defeated Kaiser Chiefs by 1-0.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was what finally, sealed their spots in the league for another year. So yeah, it's going to be hard, man, to see him go there. The goalkeeper that replaced after he left was Dumsani Msibi.
Yeah.
So is he going to go there and immediately get his number 1 shirt back? Probably not. He might have to fight for his place. Are they going to give him the captain's armband again? Probably not, because maybe he did not show the loyalty that they would have expected from a captain. But people also say that maybe at the time he was dealing with 1 or 2 things off the field, and that was what made him leave. Some people are saying that it wasn't necessarily because he thought he had a better opportunity elsewhere. Because for me, even if he thought he had a better opportunity elsewhere, that's something that you first know that, okay, you've secured this opportunity before you then decide that you are going to terminate your contract. It was just something that we don't really see, and it's not common in football at all. My own thing now is that I'm just wondering, if I am the chairman, or if I'm the president, or I'm the sporting director of Chippa United. So you terminated your contracts with me. You left. I brought in the second choice. The second choice had a fantastic time. We survived relegation. You now want to come back. My brother, you're taking a pay cut too. I'm sorry. Especially if it is true that you only left because you were looking for better opportunities. You are taking a pay cut. I'm not sure if I'll bring you back on the same wages that you were on before, because you've shown me that you cannot be trusted. So if I'm the president of Chippa United, as you are putting your tail between your legs, asking me to come back, just be ready for a pay cut. That's what if I'm the president, that's what I will tell you. You'll take a pay cut, and maybe when you've earned your shirts back, and when we trust you again, then I can put you back on a full salary, of what you were earning before. But it's very incredible. And I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and Smilai, I want to ask you about this, because I was like, I don't know how much money Nwabali is or was making in South Africa, but do you think, like, can Nwabali, just based on South Africa, the trends, how they pay the players, we know they pay them better than in Nigeria, but do you think Nwabali can afford to maybe go a whole year without earning salary? Do you think he can afford that?
I don't think, according to report, it says on like $11,000 in a month.
So that comes to about what, 140, 150 in a year, thereabouts?
Yeah, 140, around 140 in a year. So for the type of life that he lives, because he's balling now with footballers now, and that the way they spend money. So I don't think he can afford not to play. So, and I think they gave him they paid him off, to terminate his contract. Maybe probably that one also actually was helped him, but in my opinion, I just think that it was a wrong move, for him to it would have been better for him to be active. Maybe probably being active during those times can probably what leads to club gamble, can gamble on him. Because I was expecting that, come on, they got a club in Tunisia. We used to have a club, Simba of Tanzania. They were looking for goalkeeper. They did not look at his direction. So I don't know the reason why. Maybe probably he's asking for more, but it's just a shame that I won't say it's a shame. He's back to where he is now. So because
and that's something that I wonder about footballers. I know that I'm not a celebrity, so maybe I would never understand what it is to be a celebrity and to live that lifestyle and feel like you have to keep up with the Joneses and you have to, look fly and everything. But sometimes I wonder, because I see players playing at all sorts of levels, and one of the things that footballers always do, the first expensive thing they will buy, that their wash bag that they are always carrying when they are arriving in the stadium, they will first go and buy a Louis Vuitton wash bag. So you forked out maybe about almost $1,000 on Louis Vuitton wash bag. And sometimes I'll look at it and I'll see some of these players, and I'm like, bro, you are a new player in Norway. You are a new player in Sweden. Like, in Norway, maybe if you're one of their best players, maybe they are paying you $5,000 a month as one of the best players. Or maybe let's even say you are so good, they are paying you $10,000 a month. My brother, you are earning the same money that people that are talking about you are earning. We fans. Yeah, like that's the kind of salary that you're earning. So it's like, why are you now thinking that you must live some elevated lifestyle? Like, you're not Alexi Wobi, you're not Calvin Bassey, you're not Olaino, you're not Victor Osimhen, you're not playing in the English Premier League, you're not playing in top clubs, you're not making 20-30 million a year, but they feel like they need to keep up. Or when they are traveling, that's another thing that you notice with footballers, all of them must have some luxury suitcase. And I wonder, for the ones that the money to them is like spending $100, I get it. If the money is there, you spend it. But you're on a salary of $5,000 a month, but you feel like yourself must go and buy a suitcase that costs $2,000. And I always wonder, like, why? It's, again, maybe because I'm not a celebrity, so I don't get it. But I'm like, bro, like, just chill. Buy your normal $200, $300, $500 suitcase. If you want a nice bag, okay, $500 suitcase. And when you have money, you spend, but they always try to keep up. So I actually wondered, like, somebody was telling me, I'm sure Nwabali must be able to survive now. I'm sure, but I'm like, how much are they really paying him? Like, when you think about it, because if somebody is on $140K a year before taxes, after taxes, maybe that comes to 100 and let's just say 110. Like, that's a good salary for like the average person. Yeah. But that's not a footballer's salary to live a lavish lifestyle, to live, to buy luxury items and everything. So it's like, well, come on. But yeah, I digress. That's just something that I was talking about yesterday, and I remembered it as you were speaking. But yeah, somebody says a club in Tanzania offered him 6,000, but he didn't take that. But yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I wish him all the best. I mean, okay, no, final question on Nwabali before we move on. Do you think, 30 years old, now maybe some people will still argue that he's still the first choice in Super Eagles, maybe he's the second choice, who knows? But at 30 years old, do you think there's any chance that he's getting another big move and becomes Nigeria's number one goalkeeper?
It's tough, It's tough, and then it's tough because at 30, clubs will be very skeptical about, what you bring, what you're going to actually offer them. So it becomes very tricky, in my opinion. For him to get a big move now, I think it's going to be very tough, IoT. Let's be honest ourselves. 30, and let's just rewind to that. Nwabali is going to be in South Africa, maybe probably for the rest of his career, in Nigerian 30.
So Nigerian 30 is different from 30.
When you go and buy something in the chance, Nigerian Gary, Nigerian Gary, and I'm just in Nigerian 30. So Nigerian Gary, I'm just saying that it's not as if so it might taste different. That is it.
Okay. That's that. We wish him all the best, man. Because of you, I'll be watching the small of the South African League this season. But I won't watch too much so that they won't say I'm taking their job of their fans. But yeah, let's move on. That's that on transfer rumors, man.
But let me just give one transfer. I think Chippa United is on his way to Fulham FC. I heard that the person that agreed and said that he's on his way now to England to try and complete this. So let's wish him luck.
Let's see that happen. Woman, this career trajectory is looking very, very good. Yes, it's crazy to think. Like, I interviewed Nwawu when did I interview him?
It's not long now.
That's what I'm saying.
Not 1 year.
Let me see. Let me actually check. So my interview with Chibuike Nwangu,
Like a blessing to
October
him.
October 2025 is
Mm-hmm.
when I published that interview with Chibuike Nwangu. This is when he was at Wolfsberger,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden he has gone to Trabzonspor, he has won title there, and potentially on his way to England. It's kind of, when God shines his light on you, that's one thing my pastor was preaching about yesterday. Don't ask God how he's like, don't tell God how he's supposed to bless you or how you want things to be done. Just pray for your whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And the way God will do it in extraordinary ways, he will do it in the way that he wants it to be done.
Yeah.
And when I was career, like I know when he was praying, he just wanted to go abroad, wanted to just play, and the way his career trajectory is going, it's quite incredible, for him to be going to the Premier League in less than a year.
Yeah.
I'm moving to, winning in Wolfsberger. I think it's quite incredible, and I hope that one comes to fruition because again, for the national team, if he's linking up with Calvin Bassey week in week out, Benjamin Frederick should be a little bit worried. And speaking of Benjamin Frederick, that helps me transition well. Benjamin Frederick has agreed a first team contract with Brentford. He has been included in their preseason squad. He's looking like he's going to be part of the team for the Premier League. He said that his goal for the season is to get Premier League minutes and to show that he can play at this level. Of course, Benjamin Frederick was one of the most highly rated youngsters when he was playing for the youth national teams. He broke into the Super Eagles squad by virtue of chance. Thank God Ahmed Musa wanted to get married. Came into the squad for the Unity Cup last year. Took his chance. I was critical of his initial selection, but he showed that he can play at that level. And now he's going to be playing in the English Premier League this season. So, like, your thoughts on Benjamin Frederick's growth and signing his first team contract with Brentford?
Good. I'm pleased with him. The first time I saw him play, I knew that he's destined for greatness. And that's why I never believe. If it's a player, if you see talent, you will know. So when I saw him play, he reminded me of Joseph Yobo in his early years. So I knew that this one is here to stay if he stay focused. I'm happy for him. And Coach Andrews, the coach of Brentford, I've been talking a lot about him that Benji should want to stay with monitor him. There's a big offer that came from RB Leipzig, in the German Bundesliga, but I think they rejected the offer so that he could stay here. I knew before that they will put him in the first team because he was going to be part of the Unity Cup and also the friendly games we played against Portugal and Poland. But Brentford wanted him to rest very well and be ready for this season. And that's it. So I'm happy for him. It's good for the national team. At least, if Nwagu deal materialize fully, Nwagu, Bassi, Ajayi, Fredericks, they are all in the Premier League. They're not challenging in the Premier League, but at least they're in the Premier League. So they are exposed to Ireland every week. That's it.
They'll be exposed to Jackson as well and Liam Jackson and the Lamb. But yes, they only narrowly missed out on Conference League last season. So Brentford is a team that competes. My hope for him is that he actually gets quality minutes. I hope that he gets quality minutes and not just chicken change minutes. Hopefully he can break into the starting 11 at some points during the season. We all know that Benjamin Frederick has a very high ceiling. We know that he's a very talented youngster. He's humble. He keeps quiet. He does his job. So I'm really, really wishing him all the best, and I'll be supporting him throughout the season. More reason to watch the Premier League. So, love.
Can I just say something quickly too? I just think that we have to give Adamboso his flowers too, because all these players came through when he coached the national under-20 team. Toshiku Nadi of this world, this guy. At least a bit of missed out. That guy, So a lot of players came in through, and we have to give them flowers too. We'll give them this chance to play for national team.
Yes, amazing. Okay, let's keep it pushing. It's me like we've talked about transfers, we've talked about new contracts. Let us get into a little bit of controversy. It's been a long time since we discussed controversy on this podcast, but recently, a major debate has emerged in Nigerian football after Super Eagles winger Moses Simon alleged that he was denied a contract by Rangers International because he is not Igbo because of his ethnicity. The club has now strongly denied the accusation. They responded with a statement saying while we respect every player's right to recount his personal journey, it is important to state clearly that Rangers International does not maintain any policy of discrimination based on ethnicity, tribe, religion, or place of birth. It was a longer statement than that, but that's just an excerpt from it. Of course, we know Amibe Ezeaku and the work that he has been doing with Rangers. But yes, so that people can hear from the horse's mouth, I have a video of Moses Simon's conversation on the Urban Dwell podcast. I'll play that very quickly and then we'll get into the conversation.
I stayed there in Rangers for almost 3 months. No salary. But unfortunately, I was not signed. It's great, at that year, I was dropped because I was not Igbo.
So that was just tribalism, not because of your game.
I was there for 3 months, and a guy came, I forgot his name. It's an Igbo guy. He just trained 1 week and they signed him.
Professional contracts.
Professional contract.
Why you've been there for months?
I've been there for months.
Without no
Even
allowance and this
him,
thing.
I was his captain. Wow. They signed him, they didn't sign me.
My goodness.
And they said because you are from the north or something.
So, Smilai, I know he was recounting this just very laid back on his nice couch in his house, but this is a serious allegation when you really look at it. It's not only in football, in any line of work that you are. Discrimination based on a person's ethnicity, race, religion, all those things are taken very seriously. So no surprise that Amibe Ezeaku was quick to put out a statement. Now, there's no verifiable evidence from either side. Moses Simon cannot provide the proof that happened. Rangers cannot provide the proof that didn't happen. So who, in your opinion, like, how do we interpret a situation like this? Like, who do we believe in a situation like this?
So, see, I will have to talk about who I know. Moses Simon will not lie. Let me just put it that way. I'm not saying that it's God, though, but I just think that Moses Simon will not want to throw. He's a pro guy, doesn't like controversy, don't want to cause this type of commotion. Let me say it here. Sometimes, maybe probably those in Rangers now, they don't even know the history of Rangers. And those in Rangers now, it had happened about a few years back. Amobi wasn't Rangers CEO then. So, see, let me tell you something. Rangers is like a community club. So, and it's built, around the community. And before, this is what used to happen. They used to recruit spiritually players of the Southeast. That is it, because they want to create that identity. Similar to Atletico Bilbao. So they want to create that identity. The way they motivate themselves. Guys, we are together. We during the Biafra. They said those things then, but things have changed now, and things are changing when Adoke Amesimaka, signed for Rangers. It was from Rivers State, signed for Rangers. So things changed. It used to be like this before. So I don't know, maybe there's still remnant of those things happening in Rangers. I can't say. But players that are not Igbos have played for Rangers in the past that have performed well. But majority of the players that have played for Rangers are each of the Igbos. But I just think that is an isolated case. I don't think it's something that is now part of the identity. But it used to be part of it before. Let me just say that one clearly. If you doubt me, go and read the history of Rangers. It used to be part of it before, but not any longer. And this I'm talking about, they have erased it maybe probably for since like 40 years. So but maybe probably there's just this scenario, try to be biased and so on. That's just what I can sense there. But for me, I will condemn it. It's not good enough. And I think that as far as we are still in one country, everywhere should be where you should feel comfortable, and I think that it should not be judged based on where you come from. It should be based on purely your ability. So that is my judgment on that. I can see that Rangers, that they're not like that. They can print any story out. Okay, it didn't happen when Amobi was there. So it happened years ago, even before Amobi was there. So for me, I just think that if it truly happened, they should apologize to Simon that they're not like that. It's just a scenario that can actually lead to that. So You go to them. That's all.
Yeah, and you know that's the thing. Look, I look at this and I try to understand it from every point of view. For Moses Simon, he's recounting his story. You ask the question, why would he just come and lie or make a story up? But look, footballers are also known to make stories up on podcasts sometimes. There's a guy, HMRC of football, there's a guy that does content just calling players out when they lie on podcasts. And a lot of them just come and just make things up on podcasts. So it's not out of this world to assume that a footballer can make something up. But usually when they make stories up, they make stories up about matches, about things that happen in the locker room, not necessarily about personal experiences like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wouldn't just want to discount what Moses Simon is saying was his own personal experience. What I would just think about it is that even if that did happen to him, it might not necessarily have been a systemic thing. It might have been the opinion of maybe one person. Or maybe somebody was just suggesting it to him that, oh, maybe that's why you were not picked. I'm not necessarily saying that is why you were not picked. It's like if something happens to you, somebody can suggest to you that you didn't get this job because you are black.
Yeah.
Now, you might not have evidence that that's why you did not get the job. But if the person suggests it to you, and maybe they hired an Oyinbo person for the role, you might actually start to believe it. That, you know what, I didn't get this job because I'm black. And you will go out and you will tell people that, yeah, they didn't give me the job because I'm black. But do we know that for a fact? No. So I think that could have been the case whereby, okay, he didn't get it. And he said that an Igbo player came and they quickly signed that Igbo player. So when you do get the job, another Igbo person comes, they quickly sign Igbo person. And then if somebody just suggests you that maybe not because say you be northern boy, you can now internalize it and say, you know what, that's actually why they didn't give me the job or why they didn't sign me. So I cannot say for a fact the reason why Moses Simon was not selected because I was not there. But I think that Rangers, in putting out a strong statement to clear the club's image and to say that these are not the values of the club, I think they could have also have just, try to massage Moses Simon's feelings a little bit and just say, if he had a negative experience with the club, they apologize for that. Obviously the management at the time, very different from the management today. These are not the values, the club doesn't stand for that. Rather than just outwardly just coming and like implying that, oh, he's just talking, So yeah, I think it's a very tricky one because it becomes a case of he said, she said. Moses Simon said this, Rangers said this. Who do we believe? It's hard. It's hard for us to know. I'm honestly more inclined to sign with the individual versus the institution because we know how institutions can be. They feel like they have so much power. If I was forced to pick a side, I will pick the side of Moses Simon because he's the one individual, powerless, had no power, no leverage in this situation versus the institution, the club that feels like they're going to pay you a salary, they are going to give you a job, they are going to take care of you. And bear in mind, he said he was there for at least 3 months. They did not pay him a single salary. They were not feeding him. He was the one that was taking care of himself for at least 3 months. So Rangers were clearly taking advantage of this young player at the time. A player that was just trying to make it, that was trying to start a career for himself. Rangers were clearly taking advantage of that. Note in their statement, they did not deny any of those parts. They did not say, oh yes, we called him, we did not take care of him, we did not pay him any money. They didn't talk about all of that. What they specifically wanted to clarify was that they're not a club that discriminates based on religion, identity, origin, and all those kind of things. So I can see both sides of it. I can see Simon telling his story, and I can also see Rangers maybe not even necessarily knowing what happened in Simon's time, but just trying to clear their name. And I have a comment here from Momentum. It says, as his side stated, he was told there was a quota he fell out of, then framing it as I was dropped because I was not Igbo. Okay. So Viral Momentum is clearly disagreeing and saying, that's not the reason why Moses Simon was dropped. That it's not because he was not Igbo. And look, the argument of, oh well, they had many players that were not Igbo. I hear it, but again, every organization has the token black guy. I'll put it that way. Every organization has one Asian person, one black person, one gay person, all these kind of things. It doesn't necessarily mean much for the values of the organization. It does not mean that another person did not get a job because of their identity or because of their race or anything like that. So yes, Rangers have had players that are not Igbo. During that same period of Moses Simon, they had players that were not Igbo. 100% agreed. Does it necessarily mean that Moses Simon's one situation was not the case of not being Igbo? No, it does not. But does it mean that Rangers were also signing non-Igbo people? Yes, it does. So again, we have no evidence either way. So we cannot say he's lying. We cannot say Rangers is lying. It could have been any of the two. I think it's just a very, very tricky situation to discuss, without having any evidence. And look, negative stories make the rounds, man. Negative stories make the rounds so much. And that's such an interesting thing about this world and about the media and about fans and about human beings. Like, we love negativity, we love negative stories. I went and I watched the entire podcast, the entire interview that Moses Simon did with those guys. They spoke about a variety of topics. They spoke about a range of things, of his journey. He also mentioned his experience with Akor United, where he even said, I think that was his worst experience. He mentioned everything. But the one thing that people picked up was where he said, Rangers did not sign me because I am not Igbo. And that's the one that flew. I've seen the number of articles that different journalists for different media channels in Nigeria have written. They just cared about that negative aspect. Controversy, stories like that, they are the things that people care about. I remember when I interviewed Francisca Odega. Shout out to Franny, man. I remember when I interviewed Francisca Odega, we spoke about her whole life cycle of football. From being a young player, getting scouted, playing for the youth teams of Nigeria, getting to the first team, USA, Atletico Madrid, everything. And you know what people wrote stories about? At the end of the interview, when she said, by the next World Cup, that she might be pregnant. When I was seeing people that were writing articles from my interview, that's all they were picking on. Odega is planning to have a baby. I'm just like, bro, like, we spoke about so much. So people love negative stories. People love controversial stories, funny stories. And that's the only part of that interview that people decided to pick up on. It's hard for me to know who is telling the truth. But like I said, if push comes to shove, if I have to pick a side, I am going to pick the side of the individual over the side of the organization, because organizations continue to do players dirty. So I'll pick the side of the player. But I'll also say, we need, or maybe this is also creating an opportunity for us to highlight the need for stronger anti-discrimination policies, laws in Nigerian football. There have to be strong laws that ensure that even if players are not selected after trials, whatever the case may be, even if players have negative experiences, we need to know that it is not because of any discriminatory factor. It is not because of their race, their religion, their backgrounds, their origins, things like that. So I think while it's a controversial topic, it creates a little bit of a conversation that we need to have in Nigerian football to make sure that other people don't come out with these kind of experiences. What could be interesting now is, in the near future, if we have more people that are saying that this was their experience, then it could be an interesting one if more people are saying that this was their experience. But if it's an isolated case, if it is just Moses Simon that says he had this experience, then we might be able to say, okay, maybe it was just one thing, or maybe that's what one person said to Simon, but it didn't necessarily reflect the opinion of Rangers International as an organization. So it's a very, very tricky one, but I think it's something that we should look internally, and just make sure that no matter how players go through trials or don't get selected in trials or whatever the case may be, they don't come back feeling like it was because of some kind of discrimination or the other. So yes, that's that. Wishing Moses Simon the best. Wishing our Rangers, the national champions of Nigeria, the best as well. They need a very, very big season ahead of them. So we're really, really wishing the best for them. Okay, let us move on to the next topic that we have here. Let us move on to the next one. All right. Bismillah. The Flamingos, the Nigerian women's under-17 national team, they have qualified for the 2026 edition of the FIFA under-17 Women's World Cup. This is after they defeated the Beninois women's national under-17 team 5-3 in Lome, completing an 8-5 aggregate victory over 2 legs. They took a 3-2 lead from the first leg, and they produced another attacking display in the return fixture to book their place at the tournament in Morocco. The Flamingos have become one of Africa's most consistent youth teams in recent years. Their qualification means that Nigeria will once again compete with the world's best young female players and will continue to develop talents who eventually graduate, hopefully, to the under-20 and the Super Falcons. Now, let me ask you, what has Nigeria done? What have the under-17 women done that the men haven't done that allows them to be able to qualify for tournaments like this consistently up until now?
I think it's just about why do you think Falcons 2 is more successful than the Super Eagles? It's the same thing. The female football in the world, in Nigeria, is not lucrative yet. So if players start commanding big transfer money, politicians will start selling players. They will kill the game. It's because they still allow them to do the necessary thing. That's why you see things like this. It's not for the big boys, that just come to camp and bring their players are not good enough. So, and part of why I think that it's also going well, for Nigeria in terms of female is because of the talent pool is still there. During the Oluokere regime that left, back Oluokere, I criticized him that he didn't develop these players at all. The players were just there. We had a team that I cannot point out any player that in 3 or 4 years the player will be ready. But what this man have done, is it Buhari, Bashiru, I think it's been fantastic. There are some players that I see in this team, and I know that if everything works according to plan, these girls can be ready in 3 or 4 years. Players like Queen Joseph, what a player! What a player! Even not Amoni Chidi. I'm talking about Queen Joseph. There's one girl called Degoke. She went number 14 and also number 15, 14, number 8, and 7. Oh, fantastic set of players. So for me, I think he scouted them very well. If Benin Republic maybe had played against Kenya, they would have qualified. Because there's some players in Benin Republic team that play for their main team and they're still playing at 17. So the Falcons, the Flamingos are just lucky because there's one, that Gandu girl, she played for the main team. She played against Nigeria in the WAFCON qualifiers. So and she's played against Flamingos. So for me, I just think that they still allow them to do their job. But I think in the U17 boys is a business center.
It's a business center. And I mean, we know that at the 2025 Under-17 Women's World Cup, the Flamingos were there, but unfortunately they fell to a heavy defeat in the round of 16 against Italy. 4-0. I still remember watching that game and we were soundly beaten. Queen Joseph, who you mentioned, was in that game as well, alongside Shakirat, Moshood, and some other players. So do you think they have a chance to go into this tournament and put out a better output?
I think this team is probably well prepared and better. Even going to the tournament, the last one in Morocco, I don't think we were convinced about our chances. But I think this team is slightly worse. Some players like Joseph already, had the experience of playing at this level before. I think he's the vice captain of the team. Even Amoni Chidi too. I played like 2 editions of this 17 before. So I think he missed last time around because of injury. He played in the previous one. So for me, I think they have the experience now. That they must show us, go and deliver. So I think we have a better chance of like maybe probably playing in the quarters or semi-finals.
Quarters or semi-finals. And I mean, the quarterfinal is where they were knocked out in 2024. That one, they lost 2-0 against the USA. Last time, round of 16, 4-0 against Italy. So we'll be seeing how far they can go in the 2026 edition. We're really, really wishing them all the best. Do you think Nigeria should invest more towards age grade women's football? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think the but the Republic is doing it. They are building big infrastructure, majorly for their female team. So I think we also do the same thing to, invest more. I think we had a chance of winning, dominating women's football than men's football. Let's just say the way it is. So I think we need to invest. But with due respect to, I think you know all these things. To know that they are tired. That's why you're not saying it again. They don't care about women's football. They don't care about women's football. I spoke to somebody that is very close to the NFF. Said, well, you just talk about Falcons. How about I cannot bring sponsor? No, don't even mention that name. Things like that. They don't really care about women's football. So, in my opinion, I just think that except there's like, I think we're intentional about it. This women's football will grow very well. I don't know, maybe I can talk about the 17 men quickly.
Okay, go on.
If they continue like this, IoT, they will not qualify for the WAFCON. For the AFCON. When I come, I'm very critical about this thing. People think that, why am I like this? It's because I like juvenile football. See, what made me fall in love with football in Nigeria is under 17, under 20. IoT, if Super Eagles is not performing well, and we are doing well in under 17, under 20, we know the future is bright. But this juvenile football, this 17 football, they have crippled it. IoT. I don't know, maybe something called I don't know, maybe what's English? Okay, a bastard Omale. Like I saw Nigeria under 15 play. They looks like Sif, they are Omale. No, with due respect to them, they don't look like a Nigerian player. A player, a winger cannot dribble, cannot stop ball. Who selected these players? IoT. Who selected these players? And in this country, nobody is talking. That NFF is not posting the results. I asked Ombury to go and post it, to go and tag them. He went to go and tag them. They don't post it. That is why when you fail in school, you not go and show your father the result at home. Australia posted their results. Tanzania posted their results. China posted their results. Nigeria, NFF, they didn't post their results. We didn't even know the players that went to go and play in China. We don't know that. When you see a Brazilian IoT, you will know this is a Brazilian. When you see English player, when you see Argentine player, you will know these people are from Niger Republic somewhere. These are not Nigerians. These are not Nigerians. There's no identity that they're Nigerians. The coach is so inexperienced. I'm sorry, it's your friend. He's so inexperienced. IoT, we are defending against China, playing low block against China. That's why I posted the links. That this is very critical. Okay, you know what? All of you, it's 12:35 in the UK, 12:35 in Nigeria. Go and watch the game yourself and come and give me the feedback about it. So, it's bad. And the way it is going, this guy will not qualify for the next AFCON. He will not qualify. He will not qualify. The way it is, he will not qualify. So, if we are talking about Super Eagles, and this football under 17 is for this as a man, these Yahoo people doing under 17 and under 20 who will not progress. This is the worst I've seen under 17 since I've been watching football, under 17 football in Nigeria. They don't look like Nigerians. If don't because they were wearing green, white, green, you will see that these people, they are Niger Republic or from somewhere. Or from Benin Republic. They don't look Nigerian. Nobody. No, you cannot pick anybody. China is playing 1-2 in front of China. 7-0. IoT 7-0. Tanzania beat us, they're not mocking us. It's so bad. It's so bad. If we continue like this, see, IoT, do you think it's sustainable to go and be getting players from Europe? Nigerian born players from Europe? It's not sustainable. This juvenile football is where we can get it right. It's where we can pick the best players. If we continue to be doing yahoo on this juvenile football, then we are finished. You are finished. They have turned it to a business center. See, I don't write my case on that.
All right. Very, very passionate, very well said. What can we say, man? We hope that we can get things right going forward. But yes, our Flamingos, are wishing them all the best. We'll be supporting them at the 2026 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Okay, let's stick with women's football. Let us move forward. The WAFCON 2026 is coming up, man. Exciting times ahead. And Justin Madugu has released and unveiled his squad that will be heading to Morocco to defend our African crown. The squad is packed with a lot of talent. There's experience, there's youth, and everything in between. Goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, Comforter Abo, Fatima Oloko, defenders Osinachi Ohale, Tosin Demain, Michelle Alozie, Rofio Timuro. We have Shukrat Oladipo. We have Gloria Ogbonna. We have Isa Sekiratu. Midfielders, we have Deborah Abiodun, Uchebe Christie, Ainde Halimatu, Rashad Jabade, Jennifer Echegini, Toni Payne. Forwards, Folashade Jamilusi, Esther Okoronkwo, Joy Omewa, Asisat Oshuala, Chinwendu Hezuo, Babajide Omorinsola, Odega Francisca, Monday Gift, and Uchenna Kanu. So yes, some of the key names in the squad, of course, we have Ajibade the captain, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, Asisat Oshuala the legend, Michelle Alozie, we have Jennifer Echegini, Uchebe, Okoronkwo, Odega. Some surprises are there. Of course, we know that Ashley Plumter misses out, not because she's not good enough, but because she's still injured and she needs time. But a lot of people have been critical of particularly selections of Francisca Odega and Asisat Oshuala. So I want to ask you about that. I did a video breaking down the squad, so if you guys have not watched it and want a full-length video on my thoughts, I did a video on that already, like 30-something minutes long, that you can watch after this show. But I want to get your thoughts. Odega and Oshuala are two people that people have been criticizing their selections. What do you think about Jose Madugu including them in this WAFCON squad?
Who is the top scorer inside the league?
I'm not sure if she was the top scorer in the entire league, but I know she scored 18 goals.
Okay. But she got how many goal involvements? I think more than 20 goal involvement, is it?
Yeah.
So, if you are picking Odega and you are not picking Oshuala, we argue it out that the two of them play the same league. How many games did Odega play? How many goals did she score? When she came on against Senegal, she came to spoil. But we saw it now. She came to see Odega has been spoiling Nigerian games since last World Cup. Go and check against Canada. Maybe she was one that went to go and tackle that girl and the blue penalty.
Yeah, in 2020.
Yeah, 2020. So the receipt is there. The receipt is there. They brought her up against England. What did he do? 0. It was Alozie that was even attacking. You remember that game? That nearly found Alozie and they found her in the box. They didn't do penalty. Okay, has Odega been useful to Nigeria for the past 5 years? Let me say for the past 4 years.
A long time.
Eh?
I said 5 years is a long time now. I'm sure.
No, okay. Was Odega useful in the AFCON that Radiwodom came forth?
The 2022 AFCON. No, I don't believe so. No.
She played in the third place game against Zambia, and she did badly. So let's check it. What is Odega coming to do in that team again? Just want to come and occupy space. What is Odega's role the last WAFCON? What did she do?
Leadership.
To use makeup and is that she see, it's not this thing. Some people should learn to live when the ovation is the loudest. Francisca Odega served Nigeria in the days of her youth. I remember, I see when she played under 20, like yesterday. I remember against Italy. She disturbed Italy that day on the 20 World Cup years ago now. She served Nigeria. See, some people left.
Hat-trick against Italy.
Yes, thank you. Some people left this national team because players like Odega or Paranozie, they're coming up. But now she's the one sitting there. When you want to herself to see Ronaldo. I mean, so when we so I'm sorry to the fan of when they're going to abuse me here. But when are we going to continue to do this? Now they will still push her to the World Cup again. IoT, we're not serious. I think she doesn't have any space in that national team.
Who would you have caught up in her stead?
I was comfortable Sebastian. If she's not playing regularly, there's potential. That means that okay, you know what? She knows Florence Sebastian played in the under 20 that had Tosin Dimei. Didn't she play?
Yeah, she did.
Now 20 that had what? Tosin Dimei, Deborah Abiodun, Rofiat Imura, Jumoke Alani, Onilola, Okechukwu, Deborah Abiodun.
Yeah.
So you have those players. At least that might be another success story. That the team that Danjuma took to that under 20 World Cup will have another one progressing. You know, from that team. That is a beautiful story. That shows that age grade is working. You know, slightly. But even see, sometimes if NFF self call you, sometimes you can be honorable and say that I don't deserve it. Let another person actually go. See, I know of a Super Eagle player that got the called up to the national team. And the guy called that, no, let another person that deserves this call up. Take it. But my respect for that Super Eagle player went up like times 10. So sometimes if they are pushing you, you know exactly, don't let them mislead you. So it's going to be like Ahmed Musa again of our national team. Come on. She can do better. All the legacy just want to spoil everything. Come on, she can do better.
You know, it's a very tricky one because I honestly, again, I was talking about when I interviewed Francisca Odega a few years ago. I honestly did not think that she would still be playing national team football till now, especially how she was talking about her future and things that she wanted to do in the future. I would have thought that she would be done by now. And like you mentioned, we've seen it, I even cut her some slack. I wouldn't say for the past 4 years, but we've seen it in like at least the past 2 years that she's not at the same speed. She's not at the same level. Even in the Saudi Women's League, she's not quite lighting that league on fire. Like if she was even doing that, you would have a strong argument or strongish argument in her favor. And that's not quite the case. So, I mean, based on how Justin Madugu has been calling her up recently and how he has been speaking about her, was I surprised to see her caught up for this AFCON? No. But left to me, do I think that she's one of Nigeria's best 7 or 8 attackers or attacking options that they could have taken? Also, no. You mentioned Florence Sebastian. Like, I'll be honest with you. Look, I'm not huge on Sebastian Flourish. I'll be honest. That's the reality of it. I don't think that she has developed into a top talent like we thought she was when she was playing at the youth level. I don't think so. She did score 11 goals in 24 games in Turkey this season. Okay. Like, for me, that's okay at best. The Turkish Women's Super League is a very, 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 like put like 30 varies before what I say. Low-level league. Very, 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 very low-level league. Now, I know that that's the same league that Tosin Dimei plays in and Tosin Dimei does for the national team. No doubt about that. I still think it's a very low quality league. I have watched games at Turkish women's. Sorry, let me just finish. I've watched Turkey Women's League games. It is worse than watching under 17 women. They are very low level. So scoring 11 goals in 24 games, yep, you scored goals, but it doesn't give me that excitement. The reason why I would say, okay, yes, I agree, take Sebastian, is because she's young, it's because she's developing, it's because she will gain some experience. She will be in that atmosphere of the senior national team in a major tournament, seeing what it is like, understudying the starters, the key players. For that reason, I would say yes. But for me, do I think Sebastian deserves a place in the national team for this WAFCON? Honestly, no. But would I have been upset if she got selected? No, I wouldn't have been. I would have understood it. What's your question?
Okay, you've already answered that part, but I also ask you a question. Where is Gloria going to play?
In Israel.
Where was she before?
Before, I don't remember. Where was she before Israel?
Okay. She's in Turkey?
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, I think she might have been in
That's
Turkey.
in Turkey?
Yeah. She was in Besiktas. You're right.
I think she's on loan, is it? To Israel.
Is she on loan? I'm not honestly. I'm not sure. Yeah, she was in Turkey. She was in ALG Spor, a lower league team in Turkey. She then, or a smaller team, then she then moved to Besiktas. And then from Besiktas, she went to Israel to play.
Well, that Israel move was it loan?
I'm not sure if it's a loan. I'm not sure.
Because I don't think she was getting playing in Besiktas.
She was playing in Besiktas, in 2023-24, she played 28 games. In 24-25, she played 21 games. So she was playing.
What about this one? So I was just thinking that we've picked her now, and Gloria Gbona, I don't think you are so big up on Gloria Gbona.
No, I mean, I even said it in my video. She has not shown that she has the prerequisites ability needed to play at that level. When we've seen her play, she's not good enough. The question is who would. For me, I look at it like with the women's national team. I think the wealth of talent is just not there like that. If I must say. So I look at everything and I think, okay, so who would I have called up instead? If I was not taking Gloria Gbona, who would I have called up instead? Maybe people can say, okay, Nicole Payne. She can play left back. Ogbonna is largely looking at a left back role in the Super Falcons. If they took Nicole Payne, would I have said good? I would have said yes, good. But Nicole Payne has only come back from injury, still trying to get her feet wet. Has Nicole Payne earned a spot in the squad? You can't say she has. But do I, in general, like her more than I like Ogbonna? Of course, yes, I do. With all due respect to Gloria Ogbonna. So it really just depends on how you look at it. It really depends on how you look at it. And I see that some people here are still trying to talk down Asisat Oshoala. And look, like, Nigerian fans, some criticism is deserved, but some I do not quite understand. Oshoala is where at the last WAFCON, she was not a key player at the last WAFCON. Going to that tournament, everything, she was not a key player. This WAFCON, she's not going to be a key player either, unless she somehow comes off the bench and earns the right to be a key player. She has already been, a secondary player in Nigeria in the past 1-2 years. So I don't understand why people are so critical about her selection. She scored 18 goals in Saudi. You would say the Saudi league is not a strong league, and I would agree with you and say yes, it is not a very strong league. But she still did well. Nobody scored more than her, as far as all our players that were taken to the tournament are. And then people are like, oh, she's old, she's this, she's that. You say, okay, she's old, but then in the same breath, I see some of those same people are happy about maybe like an Uchenna Kanu returning to the squad. Oshoala and Kanu is maybe 2 years age difference. Oshoala and Toni Payne is 1 year age difference. Can their stats compare? No, Oshoala stats blows Toni Payne stats out the park. But we don't say Toni Payne is too old, don't call her up. But we say Oshoala is too old, let the younger ones take her place. I don't quite get it. And I keep telling people this, and some people don't want to understand it. Look, Oshoala is past her best. We know. She's not as sharp as she used to be. We know that comes with age. Father Time is undefeated. We know even Ronaldo is past his best. We can all see it. It's only Messi that's still trying to be, something else. But we understand that. But does it mean that she's not one of the best 8 for us to call up? Not particularly. Again, the wealth of talent is not there like on the men's side, where there are so many obvious people that can slot in and do the job. It's not quite like that. And when you have a player like Oshuala who has achieved everything, you treat her the way you treat Ronaldo. You still have to call them up. They might not necessarily be the key player. And for me, that's the mistake that Portugal keep making. They keep trying to make Ronaldo the key player when he should not be the key player anymore. Should he be in the squad? For sure. You cannot say you're doing Portugal squad now and you don't call Ronaldo. It will not make sense. But should Ronaldo be the player that you lean on all the time? No, give Goncalo Ramos minutes. It's the same way. Do you call Oshuala up? Yes, you call Oshuala up. I don't think that there's any manager, whether Nigerian or foreign, I don't think there's any manager right now that will do Super Falcons squad and will not call Oshuala up. Does that mean that Oshuala gets into the starting 11? No. Esther is doing better than her. Of course, Esther should start. Of course. Even Chinwendu, you would rather put Chinwendu ahead of her. And I would agree with you. But can you tell me that Oshuala should not be in the 25-player squad? That's where I would disagree with people. She has earned it. She's still firing at a lower level. Ronaldo too is doing it in Saudi. It's at a lower level, but he's still scoring goals. So he will be in the squad. But should he be the key player? No, he should not. The same way Oshuala, I think she should be in the squad. But should she be the key player that we're relying on for everything? No. That's where the Esther's coming. That's where the Ajibade is coming. That's where the Eche Guineas and the likes. That's where they come in. They're the ones that will carry the squad, the new generation of players. But she will still be there. But again, I say this. Why do we use age as a factor for her? We don't use age as a factor for Toni Payne. We don't use age as a factor for Uche Nakano. Some people are celebrating Uche Nakano's return. And Uche Nakano is only 2 years younger than Oshuala. And if you compare career stats, Kanu and Oshuala are like going from Lagos to London in terms of career stats. But Oshuala is the one that, is too old and doesn't deserve it. But Kanu is the one that, yes, I'm happy to see her back. For me, the arguments that a lot of people have is just not balanced. And it's just as if, again, they say this, man, you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And for whatever reason, Oshuala has become a villain in so many people's eyes. But again, power is never handed to somebody else. Power is taken. Somebody has to come and take her spot. A Nigerian forward needs to come and take that spot. Players need to come and show that they are far better to the point that we cannot deny them. And Oshuala will no longer be there. But as far as those players have not come yet, I think she deserves to be in a 25-player squad. And that's where I disagree with people. Then when I say these things, people will now start saying things like, it's because you like Oshuala. It's because you have a personal affinity for Oshuala. Which personal affinity? It's just reasoning. It's just logic. It's just understanding football. It's just understanding legacies. It's just understanding. It has nothing. I don't have any special feeling for Oshuala, no special affinity. I've never, I've met her one time in person. She was very humble and good to me that one day. But that, because of one day experience, is not going to make me all of a sudden just come and say, I must defend her every single time, things like that. So yeah, for me, I just think she deserves it. She's had a good season. She's doing well. If you can argue for a Sebastian, and you're telling me Sebastian scored 11 goals in Turkey, then why is 18 goals in Saudi not considered? Because Turkey and Saudi are at the same level. Saudi might even be better, to be honest, because the Saudi has legendary type players, Ajara and Chot and all these others that are going to Saudi, whereas Turkey is the ones that have not yet made it that are going to Turkey. So for me, I just think that particular argument, people don't really make sense to me on that side. And if somebody has a counter argument at the end of the show, you can always come on and you can argue, and we'll see where we land with that. But yes, so those are the two ones that were very controversial. So I wanted us to talk about them very quickly. Bosmilai, I'll now ask you this: do you think the Super Falcons will retain the title?
I don't think so, but I want them to prove me wrong. I just think that these Super Falcons did not really prepare for this WAFCON, and so many players not really tested, coming back from injury. There's so many players just coming back from injury, So would they be fit a match mode before tournament? And see, IoT, I don't care about them winning this WAFCON. It's just for them to pick the World Cup ticket. That's
Semi-final.
Semi-finals to pick the World Cup tickets. And if we don't pick the World Cup tickets, man, we should not come back to Nigeria. She should go and collect asylum in Morocco. He stayed in Rabarake. She not come back. Because for me, I think there's something that I cannot really actually watch here. I cannot say it online. But Madugu is clueless. Madugu is clueless. Like, he's zero. See, they interviewed him. Who employed him? The guy, I don't know. They're talking about this, all this uprising. I don't know. Maybe it's probably part of, what is going on in our football too. But Madugu is clueless. Like,
look, if there's anybody that's watching from the NFF, please let me do an interview with Justin Madugu. Let him show us that
he will not guarantee. He will not do interview for you. He will not. Just like Graham. Okay, do you think that Graham Muso can agree to grant interview with you?
He did with Elegbete now.
After you have edited up to 100 editing, up to they've audited everything from head to toe. And they never ask many questions. The minute he was forget those interviews. I said you should go and do interview with Osaso Bajuana or you. And let's it's not threatening you with this. Let's stream it live.
You say live, so not record it. It should be live.
No, don't record it. Let's stream it live. So that we can let's stream it live. You will see they cannot. They don't
it should not go to Osasu. Osasu will throw fire at him. I will even come with small soft landing, but Osasu
he will not agree. He will not agree to come on your live show. He will not agree to come. But for me, so I just think that it needs to prove us wrong now. They can actually do something. But I'm not confident. See, we have the Olympic Games coming up. Qualifiers. That one, I don't resign my mind. Say that might be DNQ. For Justin Madugu, that might be DNQ. For us to struggle to beat the Republic, that might be DNQ. So I'm just saying, okay, if they can get this World Cup ticket, because for me, I think that I know that they're pampering him in the NFF. They're selecting friendly games for him. They don't want him, all those type of things. Like, we know they're doing it. If they don't want him to play team, we're going to play Japan. Japan now, they don't want all those type of friendly games, all those Togo. They were negotiating with Cape Verde, Benin, Cameroon, all those countries. In fact, I think they were talking to, was it Sudan before? I don't know. There was a country they were talking to. For me, I don't think that it's better for us to struggle and see the tactical deficiency of this man and sack him so that we can prepare very well for the World Cup and also the Olympic qualifiers. Because with Justin Madugu, we might qualify for the World Cup, but I don't see future at all there. Though I spoke to Super Falcons player, he's your very good friend. Smith like, this man good though. I don't know, maybe he can say it again now. So for me, I think we should just I don't think he can do anything at the World Cup. That's just my take.
Okay, there's a comment here that I wanted to just highlight. Shout out to Victor Cobham, he's a member of the channel. He says, "I'll still not be surprised if the Falcons retain a title, though. Those ladies tend to get results when they set their minds to it against all odds." And honestly, that's very accurate and very true. They are a team of players that are very resilient. They work hard for each other. They fight. When they know what they want to achieve, they go out and then they do it, to the best of their abilities. We've seen it at the last WAFCON. The players fought against all odds and they were able to win that title, despite the many different issues, not only with the coaching, but with the NFF as a whole. They really, really tried their hardest. So we have to give them credit for that. And look, sometimes I didn't want to respond to this comment, but I want to just kind of talk about it in general. This person is using some insulting language, but essentially he's I deleted his comment already, sir. But essentially, is this person that is not happy that I said to me that maybe the Saudi league and Turkish league are same, you know? And here's the thing: look, based on UEFA's coefficient rankings, yeah, the Turkish women's league is the 19th ranked league in the world, in UEFA, sorry, in Europe. There is no worldwide ranking, so we wouldn't know where Saudi league would land, you know, in the rankings. There is no Asian ranking. But look, some of the leagues that are highly rated by the same UEFA over the Turkish women's league, Slovenia. If a player was playing in the Slovenian women's league, would we give her that much credit? No, we wouldn't. Another league that is higher ranked is Iceland. If there was some Nigerian player that was doing well in the Icelandic women's league, will people look at her and say, oh, you must call that person up? No. Remember when Rosa Rio was doing well all over Europe, people do not really pay attention to her like that. Another league that is higher rated is Ukraine. If you heard about a Nigerian player that was playing well for Dynamo Kiev women, would you feel so crazy about her? No. Or the Czechia league, or the Danish league, or the Austrian women's league. Those are different leagues that are more highly rated than the Turkish women's league. The reason why people are trying to look at this one differently is because it's Turkey. And we know that on the men's side, Turkey is not the highest level, but it's decent on the men's side. So people just assume that the Turkish women's own must kind of also be decent. But it's really not. Like, I challenge you. And again, sometimes I don't like arguing because a lot of people that argue these arguments don't actually pay attention. They don't watch. At least you don't, even if you watch, you don't watch as much as I watch. Go and watch Galatasaray matches. Go and watch Fenerbahce matches. Go and watch Besiktas matches and see what the women's league in Turkey looks like. It is very, very low quality. Like I'm not saying this to knock any player. It's just the reality. I try watching games and I'm scratching my head the entire time because of how bad the quality is. Even the Canadian Northern Super League that just started, that I still don't think is a good enough league, that I think Esther needs to get out of because I think she's too good to be playing in a league like that. The quality is better than the Turkish league. But is there a way? There's no ranking that I can really use to compare. And that's the same way I say Saudi and Turkey. They are same. For me, I even prefer the Saudi one a little bit. Why? Because like I said, the players that are in Saudi, a lot of them are players that have already done well in Europe and they are then going to Saudi. Let's even say the Oshualas, the Odegas, the Achara, the Cameroonian girl, the Tembi Katlana. These are former African bests that are now past their best but are taking their talents there. Then you have players that are still like in their prime, like the Ashley Plumpters, mixed with Saudi talents as well that are there. So for me, I rate that because it's like if you take a men's league, like the Saudi men's league versus Albania, I'd rather a player go and play in Saudi men's league. At least you're playing against Mane, you're playing against Ronaldo, against Kante, against Benzema. They are past their best, but I rate that more than you go to Albania and you're telling me that because you are the best player in Kukesi, that you deserve to be in the Super Eagles. So that's how I'm looking at it. There is no way for us to really rank it. We don't have a ranking of the best women's leagues like that. But I look at a league that has experienced legendary players, etc., versus a league that is just a bunch of youth players and players that have not quite made it to the top. Even Dimei, I don't know why Dimei is still in Galatasaray. Honestly, maybe it's the contract she signed and she can't get out. Because women's football, they don't really like to pay transfer fees unless you're like a superstar. So maybe that's why Dimei is still there. And once her contract is done, she needs to get out of there. Because for me, Dimei is good enough to be playing in like the top five leagues. So when you're using insulting words, at least have knowledge before you come and insult and before you come and say all these things. I won't mention your name, but you know yourself. But yes, that's that. Okay. So just still on the Super Falcons. So for me, I think there is no team that we should be scared of. We still have the players that are good enough to deliver. The players still have the will. They have the desire. They want to go to the World Cup. So I'm expecting them to go there and get the job done. We just don't give them the prerequisites, preparation, and the right things that they need. I mean, as of this time, I think about 8, 9 players already in camp. Ajibade is in camp. Chiamaka Nadozie, Asata Oshwala, Gloria Bona, Christy Uchebe, Fatima Oloko, Tosin Dimei, Rofia Timura, and Shuka Toladipo. They were announced in camp 3 hours ago. So we know that the camp is starting to get, a little bit filled up, and they are getting ready for the mission that is at hand. One thing that I would say, away from the football a little bit, this is for the NFF and the Super Falcons media people. I know that Mission X has expired, and to say Mission XI, it doesn't quite hit the same. I get it, but they are trying to push the Queens. They are trying to push that name, and I have to tell them, like, that name is not going to fly. That name is not going to fly, and there's one major reason. The Super Falcons already have a strong nickname that has flown for many, 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 many years.
Mhm.
The Super Falcons.
Mhm.
It's a branding thing. They have a strong identity already with a name.
Mhm.
It takes a lot more than just using a hashtag over and over again to adopt a new name. It makes it even harder when you're trying to adopt a new name while keeping the old name. It's a branding thing. They are trying to push the Queens in our face. The Super Falcons are not the Queens. I get the idea. You are trying to say that they are the Queens of African football. I get it.
Mhm.
But they're not trying to put the branding everywhere. What do you say?
Who is pushing that?
The Super Falcons, like the NFF, the media people of Super Falcons. Like, look at all the things that they've been putting out. They've been putting the Queens with a fancy queue, that they came up with and that they've been pushing. And I need them to kind of understand, like, it's not going to fly because they already have a very identifiable nickname. Some people might call them the Queens, but it's mostly going to be you, not the audience, and not the fans, and not the people, because they have a nickname already. If you wanted to find a new mission for us to get behind, or a new hashtag to get people to follow them along, that could have gone a long way versus trying to give us a new name that we should follow and we should get behind. You would see, like, and if they want to come and prove me wrong, they can come and prove me wrong. But from my knowledge and from my understanding, when you're trying to push a new name while the existing name you're still keeping it just does not really fly. It just does not really fly. It's like just think of any brand that we know already. You are trying to, Nike wants us to start calling them some other name, but they are still using Nike. It's like, bro, like, we know you as Nike. What are you talking about? Or Instagram wants to change the name of their app. Okay, you update the name of your app to a photo gallery or something, but you're still putting Instagram. Your name is still called Instagram, but you say we should start calling photo gallery. It can't work. When Buju wanted to change his name to Benson, he had to change it everywhere to Benson. Until today, people still call him Buju because that's what we knew him as. So if you're going to give us a new name, you have to get rid of the old name. But you cannot be keeping Super Falcons name and also want us to call you the Queens. It does not work. Stop pushing that. I mean, you started, so you can keep pushing it. But I'm here telling them, is branding 101 is not going to fly. Is efforts that will be wasted at the end of the day. And it doesn't. It even sounds like this. Like Dr. Kobam said, it even sounds out of place. The Queens are Ghana. Those are really the Queens, not Nigeria. But yes, I just wanted to digress a little bit because I saw it. I'm like, let me just give them a little bit of a branding lecture. So somebody can screen record that part and send it to the NFF people. They will think I'm hating, but it's valuable knowledge for them. They are spending lots of time. Okay, John Jones sent the super chat. He said, why didn't they call up Chioma Okafor? Also, why haven't the NFF approached Onyeka Gemero? You're asking two questions in one super chat, which is trying to game the system. So I'll answer your first question. As far as Chioma Okafor was in the last WAFCON squad. To the surprise of many people, we have to say that she was in the last WAFCON squad. She recently joined North Carolina Courage, and since March, she has played a total of 6 games in the NWSL. She's yet to get a goal. She's yet to really find her feet. Her last match was 2 days ago when they lost 2-0 against Washington Spirits. That's the team of Gift Monday and Deborah Abiodun. And in that game, she came off the bench. Guess who is currently benching her in the NWSL? Guess. Evelyn EJ. The Swedish Nigerian striker is who is benching Chioma Okafor. So Chioma Okafor has not really earned the spot. Since the last WAFCON, which gave her a lot of publicity, she signed a contract, but she's yet to kick off. She's yet to score a goal in the NWSL. I'm not writing her off. She's still a young player, so she'll still have a chance in the future. But as of now, I can't really argue for her inclusion. You have to earn your spot, and she didn't quite retain her spots that she got the last time. If you want us to answer the second question, you send another super chat. Don't try to do 2 in 1. Okay. So that's that. There's something else that I wanted to say, but it has left my head right now. There's something else that I wanted to say. It has left my head right now. But yes. Okay, sorry. I wanted to say Uchenna Kanu. Uchenna Kanu, I'm happy to see her-ish. I'm happy-ish to see her back in the squad. She's a player like that has a knack for scoring important goals every once in a while. She's done pretty well since going back to Mexico. She's one of those players that the USA just really did not favor her at all. It's very interesting, and that's another reason why when people praise her to the high heavens, I get a little bit confused, because look, with all due respect to her, she could not cut it at the highest level in the USA. She went to Louisville. I watched a lot of games when she was in Racing Louisville. You'd have thought that she was just there to do cardio, running around the field. Injuries were also not very nice to her. I would not take that away. In her last season there, she suffered a long-term injury that kept her out. And then she goes to Mexico. She scores 11 goals in 16 games. Bear in mind, she also was banging in goals in Mexico before moving to the NWSL. So sometimes you just have to find your level and stay there and do well. And, Mexico just seems to be her level. But based on performances, yes, I cannot say that she has not earned her spot in the squad, when you compare her to the other forwards that we have. But that's that on Uchenna Kanu. Okay, if you want to hear my full thoughts on it, I talked about every single player that was called up. You can check out the video. It's on our YouTube channel right after this live stream. You can go and check that out. All right. Okay, let's move forward quickly, man. We have a few, 2-3 more topics that we want to touch on this evening. Speed Live, we talk about the Super Falcons. Let's talk about the Super Eagles very, 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 very quickly. We've heard some of the rumors about Eric Chelle still contract not signed. Other African nations are coming for him. Other clubs are coming for him. Well, Olokpade, Bukola Olokpade I'm talking about, the DG of the National Sports Commission, has also dismissed the reports that are linking him with other African national teams. He said Eric Chelle remains fully committed to Nigeria's long-term football project, and the rumors of interest should not cause any concern. Do you agree with that? That look, we should not worry about anything. Eric Chelle is here to stay. Do you trust what the DG is telling us?
Can you believe what they're saying, Joseph? Can these people come out and you believe what they're saying? You cannot believe what they're saying. These are more of style than substance. I don't know if you know Aladdin. Who had Aladdin before? That movie. When the light just come, everything just appear. That's they think as if they're in a dreamland. You cannot believe them now. It's not just that they submitted a case against the Congo. You want to believe? I beg. I'll see. Let's move on. See, the issue is this. I know the policies they are playing. I know that NFC want him to stay, but NFF is playing politics with Eric Chelle. It might be they want to go and get a new manager, thinking that don't worry, we got to Eric Chelle, we can get another person again. But what I'm trying to say basically is that these guys don't know what's going on. And that's why I say when I mentioned that the Olodo uprising, it's part of it too. So in my opinion, I just think that we are not serious. See, Osamazan, they've extended his contract to 2030. Managers have been fired. Papa Paptial been fired. So what is now our business? We did not qualify for the World Cup. So those that qualify for the World Cup and finish, they are already sorting out the future of their managers. We didn't qualify for the World Cup. And we are still doing rabba. They're saying Saisi Yusuf to come and assist. Still going backwards. That's why I said that, it just pains me that nobody sees the way we see it. I don't believe anything. If the man leaves, he leaves. Then, when you talk about Pasero, then, we came. Don't sack him yet, because it's not as if Pasero is the next thing. But because we know NFL will not employ any coach.
Yes.
And there's people to get a Grafon now. They will get a Grafon. Grafon will go to the AFCON. They will fail. World Cup qualifiers go be the next window. It's how we look for coach again. No planning. That is how they are to shop money. I don't know. This NFL is one of the most useless NFL I've ever seen.
Oh God! I mean, when I saw it, I said, at this point, you take everything that they say.
You run business
with the
1 billion they're talking about. Is it realistic
for MPFL? I don't know where they want to get the money, but
the 2 million minimum wage, is it realistic?
Again, I don't know where they want to get the money.
So how much is you have tried to work with MPFL side? How much are they making?
I don't know how much they're making. I know how much they are not willing to pay. But I don't
most of them pay 400k. It's not even regular. 300k salary. There's a guy that moved from Kunkalifa to Rivers United. It's on 500,000 naira salary, and it's one of the biggest transfer in this window. My guy moving from Redmond to TSC, how much is he going to get paid? About 400k. So it's sad that we have these people that just come and talk anyhow. Maybe they've had little alcohol talk. I don't know, because if somebody is saying, I don't know why they can be talking like this. I think that they're talking to well-educated Nigerians that will listen to them like this. I'm tired of them, honestly.
Okay. I have nothing to really add, Joe. Let's keep it pushing. I want to just take one more topic, which is going to be mostly me talking, and then we'll take any people that want to join the show. So I'm going to post the link now. So if there's anybody that wants to call in and share their thoughts, any of the things that we've covered today, you might want to argue, you might want to disagree. Now is the chance to not just be a keyboardist. You can also come on and be a talker and share your thoughts. Let's hear your voice. Let's hear the reasoning behind any of the opinions that you have. But the final thing that I want to talk about today, that I want to bring to your attention, in case you do not already know, is that the Eagle Striker Awards 2026 is coming up. It's coming up. July 20th to July 22nd. We have 10 different awards that are going to be given out: goalkeeper of the season, defender of the season, midfielder of the season, forward of the season, revelation of the season, young player of the season, fans player of the season, women's MVP, men's MVP, and then we have the team of the season as well. This is something that we do every year, and this year we have taken it a step further in terms of our research, in terms of our selection process. We're no longer calling anybody nominees. We have finalists, because we came up with a proprietary evaluation index called our Eagle Striker Performance Index, ETPI, trademarked. And we evaluate players taking everything into consideration. I saw a comment today where somebody saying, hey, but somebody plays in this league, somebody plays in that league. And I'm like, the person was not paying attention, because we've spoken about everything that we put into calculating these things in the past. The Eagle Striker Award exists. Main purpose is to recognize outstanding Nigerian players, to celebrate excellence across men's and women's football, to promote objective player evaluation, not just what you feel, to preserve Nigerian football history and some other these things. If you look on your screen, you see the voting criteria. Number one is performance over popularity. So not because you are the most popular player that you necessarily win an award. Statistics before opinions. We value the data and the statistics. Context matters. Again, while we value the data, context also matters. Where are you playing? What circumstances are you playing under? And then integrity above all. It is nobody's nobody's paying for any award, nobody's paying for any recognition. We're, holding our integrity with everything that we do. The scoring breakdown: statistics account for 40% of the scoring. Consistency accounts for 30%. So it's one thing to score goals, but we're not talking about somebody that scored 3 hat-tricks in 4 matches and then ghosted for the rest of the season. How consistent were you throughout the season? All these things we evaluate. Your league, yes, because somebody that is playing in the English Premier League has it harder than somebody that is playing in Latvia. So we consider your league 15%, and then team success. At the end of the day, winning trophies is the aim of the game. So team success matters. Winning trophies, and we put everything on a scale. We have, like I said, we have a whole index where we really evaluate and we, look at all sorts of things. Depending on your league, there is a number that you get. The same way like Golden Boot for Europe has different multipliers and everything. So different leagues have different multipliers in our index, depending on what your team achieved. Did you win a title? Did you win a domestic cup? Did you win a double? Did you win a treble? Did you achieve promotion? Did you get relegated? Did you qualify for Europe? Did you finish in the mid-table? Everything has an index, has a multiplier, and we used all of that. It was a lot of mathematics, a lot of formulas to come up with our index to know who the finalists should be for each award. And we selected the finalists based on our data, and of course, editorial context and everything matters. So this is the most deepest level of research that we've ever done for our Ego Striker Awards. So the nominees have started rolling out. We've announced the goalkeeper of the season nominees, which I'll just mention in case you missed it. We have Maduka Okoye, we have Arthur Okonkwo, we have Chiamaka Nnadozie, and we have Chijioke Aniagboso. Very interesting selections. Maduka Okoye, of course, 10 clean sheets in Serie A. We had Arthur Okonkwo with 10 clean sheets in the championship, 130 saves also, but only a 66.7% save ratio. We had Chiamaka Nnadozie, 8 clean sheets in the WSL. And then we had Chijioke Aniagboso with 17 clean sheets while playing in Ukraine's second division. So those are the 4 goalkeepers that were nominated. For defender of the season, we had 5 finalists. I shouldn't say nominated, 5 finalists. We had Emmanuel Fernandez of Rangers, Calvin Bassey of Fulham, Chibuike Nwanwo of Trabzonspor. We had Shemi Ajayi of Hull City and Shukrat Oladipo of AS Roma. From tomorrow you will see the finalists for the midfield of the season, the day after finalists for the forward of the season, and that's how we'll be announcing all the finalists until we finally get to the end. Voting for fans player of the season will start later this week, so fans get to decide, who they want as their player of the season, and then the award announcements will begin on July 20th and go for 3 days up until July 22nd before the WAFCON starts. It's going to be very exciting. Some players that you expect will be there. Some players that you don't expect would also be finalists and might win 1 or 2 awards. Who knows? But yes, please, if you're not already engaged with us, make sure that you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, X, so that you see when we make these posts and you engage with us in the comments. Tell us who your preferred winner is, why you think the person should win, etc. And also just to mention, one of the things that comes up a lot is, why do you always put women and men together? Why don't you do separate awards for women and women, men and women? And I understand people that ask these questions most of the time, but I keep having to explain it, and I'll keep saying it. The reason is because the men have such a large pool of players to select from, while the women don't. Our awards right now only covers those that are playing in countries outside of Nigeria. And for the women, they're just not as many in every position that are playing. Unless you want to see finalists for goalkeeper of the season women every year, Chiamaka Nnadozie and one other person, and Nnadozie ultimately wins, which makes it boring, just doesn't add any value to the award, because Chiamaka is obviously the best women's goalkeeper year after year after year after year. Before Comfort Erabo came into the picture, there was nobody to compete with her. Even though that Erabo is there, Erabo is in Portsmouth, barely done anything. So if we give Chiamaka a best women's goalkeeper in Nigeria award, it doesn't put the value. But if she wins it over Maduka Okoye, over Arthur Okonkwo, it gives a little bit more credibility to it. For Shukrat Oladipo now, she was nominated for among the top 5 defenders. This is not among the top 5 female defenders. This is among the top 5 defenders, period. If we wanted to extend it, if we wanted to do it as a separate women's defender award, there will be Shukrat Oladipo. Maybe you will have Tosin Dimeh in there. Who's the next person that you will put? Some people will say, okay, put Michelle Alozie. I don't know if you guys watch club football, but Alozie doesn't do anything for her club. And I know she plays well for Nigeria, but at club level, she really does not play well. So at that point, you will be putting Alozie as a finalist when she did not even have a good club season. Now you're watering down what it means to be a finalist for the award, because it shouldn't be players that did well and you're including a player that did not do well. Who else would we include? Gloria Buna, with all due respect to her. What has she done to earn the spot? So it's tricky like that. Until the pool of women's talent gets sizable enough in each position, we kind of have to put them amongst the men so that you can really know that the women are doing well. So when Oladipo is amongst the top 5 finalists, you know that it's because she did well, whether she's a man or she's a woman. And again, all this has been mathematically calculated to say that truly she was amongst the best 5 women or men. And like I already said, league is already put into context in our calculation. So regardless of the fact that she's a woman playing in the women's league, she still earned the spot in the top 5 based on our calculation. It's incredible. But yes, that's essentially it for people that keep asking questions. Midfield of the season, forward of the season, and the other awards, the finalists will be revealed over the coming days. So please stay tuned, engage with us, and I hope that you guys enjoy the awards as we announce them and as we roll out the content. That's that on that. Thank you very, very much. Smilaye, before I get to the callers, anything you want to say about the awards? What do you think?
Good. And I can see that it's slightly actually what different from last year. So, it's going to be very interesting to see who the fans will believe that should be the winner is on the situation. So, the goalkeeper is going to be very interesting to see who will triumph between Akpe and Alozie. I know that Nwabali will not be in the picture, but Maduka and is there any position? Is there anything for fine boy and fine girls? I know, but for me, it's going to be very, very interesting for it. So yeah. I would really, for me, my favorite is that I want to look at the young player of the year. Is there any award for that?
Yes, there's young player of the year. Yeah, young player of the season.
Yeah. So, if one player of the season, I really want to see, because we don't really have that talent pool. All those young players coming up. I'm happy for Ghana, but I just think that that area, I'm looking forward for that area. So I want to ask you a question: as any of your nominee or your winner win the African Player of the Year, like that same year as you won the Strikers Award?
I think Osimhen won it. Osimhen was the MVP the year he won the CAF Player of the Year award.
But not Lukman. Lukman did not win the MVP year.
Lukman won the MVP. Which year did Lukman win CAF award?
2024.
2024. Was Lukman our MVP? Give me a second. Let me quickly check record. 23-24, right? 23-24. Lukman was our MVP.
Okay.
Yeah, Lukman was our MVP. Ajibade was for women. Lukman was for men. 23-24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Somebody said, I get your point, but with that formula, will she ever get to win the best goalkeeper against goalkeepers like Okoye? It's very, very possible. Yes, if she has stats that are superior to them, she will. I don't want to give anything away for this year. But again, league matters, context matters, statistics matter. As you saw in the evaluation, statistics matter the most. 40% is for statistics. League is only 15%. So yes, your league matters. So where the league is going to trump is if, let's say, a striker scores 20 goals, another striker scores 21 goals. For statistics, the person with 21 goals will win. But when you come to league, if one is playing Premier League and one is playing, let's just say, Belgian League, then that's where the 15%, maybe the person in Premier League will get 15 out of 15, and the person in Belgium might only get maybe 10 out of 15. And that's where the league will matter, because the statistics are close. But if the person in Premier League only scored 10 goals, but the one in Belgium scored 21 goals, then even though it will get less points for league, it will still have more overall points, because the statistics will be far higher than the person that scored only 10 goals. So you can still win even though you're playing in a lower league if your statistics trump are clearly better than the people that are playing in somewhere else. But if it's close, if it's a close battle, then the person in a better league will probably get the nod ahead of somebody else. But yeah, so go on our Instagram and engage. Tell us who you think should win each of the awards. And there's I don't want to I'm tempted to reveal some of the exciting finalists that we have for some awards, because even it's funny because I was part of the team that worked on, I was part of the people that worked on the formulas and the performance index. But even after drawing up our formulas, some of the people that were coming up as finalists, even me, I was like, oh, okay. Like if I had to just guess from my brain, I might not have put this person there. But when you give the computer all the data, the person's name pops up as one of the top 5. And I say, wow. And I look at it and I evaluate it and I'm like, you know what? It makes sense. So yes, just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Exciting times ahead. Just like that guy was saying. Exciting times ahead. Okay, we have some people waiting to speak, so let me get them on very quickly. Adelatun is going to go first, and then after we have OVA 78, and then if Sheyi turns on his or her camera, Sheyi will be the third caller for the evening. Adelatun, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, IoT. Let me just start with Akor Adams. In as much as I'm not down with that move, but I will still wish him well. Like I always say, we don't know. We are not in the picture. I don't know if IoT is the picture. I'm not in the picture. I don't know why he's moving. Even though Venezia, if you are going to clubs like Fiorentina, I think I would have been happy. I'd have been happy or happier if you are going to Fiorentina or even Udinese. But going to Venezia, we never can tell. Maybe Venezia will be another Como or another Paris FC. All I'm going to say is that I wish him well. As for Nwabali, this is a testament that, I'm sorry to say this, we have to be real here. I think maybe Nwabali is not good enough. Maybe it's not good enough. You can't tell me that, because Bismillah, we understand this. Where we say Odabo, you don't say Odaro. You don't come back there and say Ekale. I mean, whenever you say good night, you don't go back there. You actually terminated your contract. They not even come to beg you. You went there after you have gone everywhere to look for a club. But nothing was able to sign you. The first choice of Mali is the goalkeeper of Yanga. Nigeria got to I want the Mali get to. Why couldn't Nwabali go and compete with Jigui Diarra in Yanga? Why can't he go to Simba? Why can't he go and compete in Orlando Pirates or even Kaizer Chiefs? Let us agree that when Williams did go first choice of Mamelodi Sundowns as captain of South Africa, then go and challenge the goalkeepers of Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. Then why do you have to go back to Chippa United? To me, I think it's a disgrace to our football. It is a disgrace to, as of now, it's the first choice of Super Eagles, because last major competition, he was the first choice. So it is a disgrace to our football. I'm going to say that. Then let me now go to the show of Rangers. I could say a lot of people on this platform, the comment section, calling Simon many names. I agree with them. Most people don't know the reason why Rangers was formed immediately after the Civil War. And most of their players then, some were born in the north, some were born in the west. Because the war, they all moved back to the east. And it was founded as a core Igbo team. But towards the end of that time, towards the 70s, started bringing players from other regions. Even 90s, Nathan Wale from Ogbomoso was a first team player, a left winger. They had Ade Joseph. They had non-Igbos, both Northerners in their team. So I would not go and say, we cannot say this guy is lying. And you say something, I see that I say, God bless you. Maybe one of your officials said that to Moses Simon. Baba, we all stay abroad. at a point in time, one white person had reacted to us or had done something to us that we can tell racism. I'm going to say, oh, everyone's a racist. Oh, what you come out of your mind is that white folks are racist. You got one person. You can't say because it is no more like the Rangers, no more like that. So you can't say this guy is lying. I will tell you, when Father was governor, he organized one commission, a governor's cup in Lagos. So through the team, one boy in our wood was in the team. When he went there, one of those coaches was asking him that, oh yeah, where's your father's ACN, this APC membership card? One boy told us, we went there, that they moved the man from the back of the coaching crew. It was not the chief coach that said it. It was one of those members of the coaching staff. Probably he had another person wanted to bring. He now used that where's your parents' APC membership card. So to that boy said, oh, the coach said that because my parents and were not APC members. So it is, see, when you beat a child, you cannot tell the child how to cry. If four of us here beat one child, if I beat one child, all of four of us are together, with that child go and report, those brothers have beat me. He won't say one of the brothers has beat me, or say those brothers have beat me. So we should not say Moses Simon is lying. And you know what Amobi said? Amobi said that he would like to not get the name of the person. Perhaps the person might not even be part of Rangers again. Maybe he said it because he wanted to bring his own player. And the way the thing hits Moses Simon was like, oh, because I'm not Igbo. Because I'm not Igbo. It happens even in a kid. Oh, somebody is not from Ijelo, somebody is from Oye. It happens everywhere. Like I said, we cannot say it doesn't happen. So people are abusing this guy that okay, maybe wasn't good enough. That's why. No. I said, oh, Moses Simon, Rangers is no more, it's not like that. Do not say because one person has said something bad to you, you not generalize. I love that. And you said the reality, you said no, probably because it might be one person that said it. And that person might be one of the coaching staffs who has a plan, who has his own agenda, and might not be in the team again. Amobi has said it all. If I can get know the person, you can just sit. Get out on that. On the 17 boys and girls, the girls, good job. Can they do better? Yes. Because I want man, they lost so many scoring chances. But this is a good development. I know they can get better. Kudos to those girls. And the defenders too, they need to work hard. Because if just that the Beninoans were not that clinical, they would have scored more goals against us. So the coach still knows what to do. It's not yet Uhuru. He's not say, oh, we have arrived. No, he should work hard. On the 17 boys, when Milan posted out of Tanzania, I said, when we lost to Australia, they post again. I had to see that I saw it on flash score. But when we drew China, they posted it. The boy said, on the list, also has content from our 17. Was four goals. The list we used to give Australia minimum of 4. Australia beat us. China, even when they hosted, they used to beat them. 95. Now, cannot beat China. I'm sorry, I will see. Let me say this. I said this, now you can damn witness. When they announced the coaches, I said, I'm due to corner 17. Goes to under 23, okay, let's get under 23. I'm due to corner 17, goes to corner 20. Using our football to play this thing, to do our football to play kites. That there's nothing they can do. They can do. I wish this guy Bogoli was on this life. Bogoli, You have access to people. Please, stop. I'm not to
Adedotu, please 1 minute. Mr. Adedotu, please 1 minute because other people are waiting too.
Okay, let me finish something. The Falcons. Well, I was not expecting to see that secret to Isa, but I sent a message to Eli at the back. I said, I think something, maybe somebody is greasing the engine. But that Isa and that goalkeeper, I said, maybe somebody is greasing the engine. Maybe they are greasing the engine, some powerful people there. But that Glory Obona, I don't know why she's there. I would have preferred Nicole Payne. But the list is already out. They just go there and try as much as possible to get the ticket to the World Cup. I'm not giving them I'm not giving them a benchmark that they should win the trophy or take the trophy. Just try as much as possible to clean the World Cup ticket. We want to be able to watch the World Cup because we can't miss the men's World Cup and miss the women's World Cup. That will be a big double blow on us. So that's what I'm saying. We should just, the girls, I wish them well. I know the girls can do it. The girls can do it, but I know Maluku doesn't have the in-depth to teach the girls. I say, I know, I'm sure it must have shown another quote. Another quote. So the girls, I wish them well. Good luck and thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Adedotu. Always nice to hear your voice and feel the passion. All right. Let me bring on the next person that we have waiting to speak, Mr. OVA78. Welcome.
Good evening. No, good morning, Smith Lai and Ayati. This is my second time in your podcast. You know, I made my debut when Nigeria played Poland.
Yes, I remember.
When I came on, yes. And Smith Lai was not online that day, was not available that day, yes. So I was the one telling you that I can take Smith Lai to the cleaners when it comes to history of Nigerian football. Are you asking me,
yes,
are you sure?
Before you came, he said that, and I said, if he says something like that, then we must do a challenge. He must come and prove himself. You cannot just go out and not prove yourself.
See, Smith, see Smith Lai see me now. Anytime when you bring the challenge out, this thing, I full gun, nothing they happen. Smith Lai is good. Don't get me wrong, Smith Lai is good, but I am equally good. I've been a strong Super Eagles fan from like 1988. We used to, because I was raised in Benin. We used to fill up Akpe Stadium those days in the 80s, where I had maternal uncles who were footballers. You understand? So around 86, 87, I watched Eguavon in Austin and Thompson Olea, late Thompson Olea, Independent Insurance, 86, 87. So when it comes to Nigerian football, no, that's a discussion for another day. Smith Lai is good. I give him his flowers.
Are you down for the challenge? We'll settle.
Let him challenge either the first.
Smith Lai is like, you cannot come to the organ straight away. You have to go through this.
No.
What is Smith Lai saying?
He said you should just challenge Adedotu. When you beat Adedotu, then he will take you serious.
I will do a good job with Mr. Adedotu, and I will do a good job with Smith Lai too. I'm confident of myself. Okay. When it comes to
you know the games of the 80s, isn't it?
Say again.
80s, like the 1980s
yes.
And 90s.
Yes.
Okay. What about the 70s?
The 70s, I will not with the 70s. Mr. Adedotu, because Mr. Adedotu will take me to the cleaners in the 70s because with Bender Insurance, it was when Insurance won the FA Cup in 1978 when they defeated Rangers 3-0. Ogboe was the major frontman in Bender Insurance then. That's when I can start recalling when it comes to Nigerian football locally and with the Super Eagles. I would say from 1980, conveniently. But when it comes to Super Eagles, I go follow you on Mr. Adedotu Drago. I'm not trying to blab. Smith Lai, 1 minute. I'm not trying to blab. I can name Super Eagles players who played for Maroc 88, the first 11 that start each game. Listen carefully. I can name those players. I can name the players that played Oja's 90 Nations Cup. I'm talking about lineups and the team.
There was a player in the Maroc 88 team.
Yes.
Isha Shofoluwe, you know him.
I can name the defenders here now. There was Isha Shofoluwe.
Which competition did he attend for Nigeria for?
Say that again.
Where was his first competition for Nigeria?
I think Isha Shofoluwe's first competition was with the Samson Siasia, the under-20 Flying Eagles team of 1985.
83.
Okay, 83. Okay, I know it's 83, 85.
Okay, so that's what we'll give him 8 out of 10 for that one. He got one part.
No. He mentioned 85 for this. That is, he didn't mention that the first ever under-20 World Cup for Nigeria was
83. True.
All those Aligege, you know. Even maybe you know this guy called Chibuzo.
Yes.
Chibuzo played in AFCON 1984. Also play. He played AFCON 1984.
I think Andrew Uwe. There's this big defender, central defender called Andrew Uwe.
That was 85. That was 85.
Okay.
Was captain in 85.
Andrew Uwe.
Yeah, he was captain in 85. He played in Morocco 82. He played in Morocco 82.
He played in Morocco 82. There was.
I know.
This is what we will do. We cannot have this.
There's this left back. Yes, Folonsho Kenla. There used to be one Folonsho Kenla in that Morocco 88 team.
Yeah.
Yes, there was Sunday Boegbe, there was Brighton Mokanru. Letucho now Kafo was in that team too. Then Austin Egwawon used to be a defensive midfielder. He was in the team. Yeah, he was in the team. Sam Okwaji.
See, this is what we should do. Yeah, I like this. Okay. For myself, I'm enjoying this. This is going to be good content. So let's not waste it today.
Okay, so, I will go straight.
Mr. Yes. This is what we should do. Yeah, are you on Instagram?
200%.
Okay, please send me a message on my Instagram
I will. So, I follow you on Instagram. I follow you on Instagram has a thread.
Oh, okay. I don't.
I follow you everywhere. Okay. I follow you on Instagram, on thread, on Facebook. I will.
Since Smidlai is the final boss, this is what we'll do. Smidlai,
okay.
I'm going to need your help, Smidlai. So give me questions, maybe like 30, 40 questions.
Okay.
We'll do challenge 1 between Mr. Ovia and Mr. Adedotun.
No, I want to see. I don't know, maybe you can do this thing. Because it's like you remembered 88 very well. And 88 is Adedotun's specialist.
No.
In terms of one second. In terms of Super Eagles, or in terms of the Nigerian local league, in terms of what?
It could be local league.
No, but like for the questions, the question is not capping to local league. Or the question is any history will start from 1980 to 2000.
Okay.
No. What I want 1972.
You know why we will not start from 1972? I told you.
No.
One second. I mentioned initially that Mr. Adedotun will take me to the cleaners when it comes to the 70s. I admitted that.
Let's do the part that he's saying that he knows. So, because when we're having this thing initially, me too, I said it that, I said it that if you ask me history, I've lost in the first round. But if you ask me current affairs, that's where I have strength. So let's not put him in a battle that he knows that he's not strong in. His strength is from 19.
I can do my research, but I know I'm not too good in that.
So let's just keep it for the sake of this year. We'll keep it 1980 to 2000. So
right.
If you have 40 questions from there in different categories, some will be local league, some will be national team, some will be youth team.
Youth team, under 17, under 20, etc.
So we'll do a show where Mr. Ovia and Mr. Adedotun will go head to head.
I'm all for it.
Who comes out? We'll see who comes out on top. If Mr. Ovia wins that battle, then we'll do Smidlai versus Mr. Ovia. Somebody else will come up with the questions for the one for.
I just said you must start from. I said that if you are So if you are doing it too for his own advantage too, I don't say, why can't we start from
No,
1976?
but Adidas see, it's not this thing here. Mr. Ovie is sure from 1980. Adedotun is sure from 1976. It's not as if Adedotun's knowledge stops at 1980. Adedotun also knows 1980. So just keep it within what everybody knows. It's like as if maybe a primary 5 child is doing a contest against a primary 4 child. You can stop questions at primary 4 level. Does not mean that primary 5 child does not know primary 5 stuff. So let's just do it 1980 to 2000. Both of them have knowledge of these areas. So let's test that knowledge. You know, if Mr. Ovie wins, we will now do Mr. Ovie versus Smith-Lai.
No, we do Mr. Ovie versus Mr. Patrick.
Smith-Lai wants to give you all those.
No, because
Mr. Patrick too is very, it's very good.
But Mr. Patrick is Nigerian football encyclopedia. I have to be honest with you. Mr. Patrick is like, Mr. Patrick will tell you. For me, see, it's not as if I'm a Methuselah. I was born in 1930.
Of course not.
No, but you studied the history.
It's because event by event, month by month, I looked at it because it's what I like. It's what I should watch. It me. I'm not, with due respect to the Europeans, you know, I'm not a European fan. They brought me up with AFCON. And AFCON is my day. So when it's AFCON, it's Christmas for me.
Somebody said he's going to fact check. That's why I said that he should send me the questions and answers ahead of time. So if he sends it to me ahead of time, I can also check it, make sure everything is accurate, so that when we're doing the contest, we're already sure of all the questions. So same thing, even if it's Midlai against Ovie, maybe Adedotun can send some questions, Mr. Patrick can send some questions, and then we'll fact everything and make sure that it's this thing. But I love it. I'll just be there as moderator. Myself, I'll be learning. I'll be learning from you guys, you know, because sometimes people will say, boy, if you don't know, Frank Edoho, when he's hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you think him so he knows the answers to all those questions that he's asking people, you know, but they put the answer in front of him so he will know if they're correct or wrong. So yes, this is something that we should definitely do. So anybody else that is potentially interested, you can send me a message, you know, and maybe we'll see how we can make it into like a proper tournament. If you want to, anybody that maybe wants to do current affairs too, you can also send a message and, you know, we'll create a nice, you know, content and
then I will say something.
Yeah,
you know, the type of question that will be said, they're not the I doesn't have a question that which minute did somebody's going, you know, all those questions that
true.
So questions, you know, for example, the one I should ask you that which year did Shufoli wear?
Yes, exactly.
That is easy to collect.
True.
You know, when was the first time Rashidi Ekini played in AFCON game for Nigeria?
1984.
You know,
1984. In Ivory Coast.
When he scored his
Ivory Coast.
When he scored his first goal for Nigeria during AFCON.
Yeah, don't finish all the questions here. Don't worry.
I've just the question bank is a lot. You know, it's just that
we'll organize everything. Somebody said how much for the winner. Look, if there enough,
everything is not about money.
But I'm even saying before we can say money, there has to be enough contestants. You know, two people cannot contest, and you now say you want.
You are not expecting a prize.
But if it was like 24 people or something, you can you can start thinking, okay, price. But just two people, we're doing it for the love of the game, you know, for the education, you know, and just for the knowledge, you know. So yes, amazing one. Mr. Ovie, anything else that you want to add?
Yes, I have three things I want to briefly, because for the people that are waiting.
Okay.
I will start with the Moses Simon's issue. It's instinctively I believe Moses Simon. Instinctively, I just believe him. A similar issue happened in Benin in 1992. When you have the Nigerian league, you used to have amateur leagues. You understand? Because stationary stores, Julius Berger, Better Insurance, Iwanya National, Udoji United, these were the top teams in the Nigerian league in the 90s. So we used to have a Bendel insurance coach called Lawrence Akpokona. Kano Nwankwo came for Bender Insurance screening because the nucleus of Bender Insurance players then were you have the captain Rolande, where you have Winston Oruma. Winston Oruma was in that insurance team of 1992. You have Peter Obano. There used to be this guy that came from Niger Dogs, Adewale Adetoyinbo, some few players. Kano Nwankwo came, he was looking lanky and lifeless. The coach said, "But we're not going to screen this kind of guy." They sent him away. It happens, not in a discriminatory manner. This kind of guy, we're not just saying this one will fit trap ball. You understand? Because those days, Nigerian football has really declined. If you see the kind of defenders you see in the Nigerian league, 6'2", 6'1". If person they jam you, no saying a human being jam you. You understand? So you have players who were solid physically. So you have to be, for you to be diminutive playing in Nigerian league, you know that man, you strong. You understand? So I believe Moses Simon. The only thing Rangers should do, like you rightly said, it was like, sorry, it was not, we don't believe in those kind of rhetorics anymore. It happened in the past. You just apologize and let it slide. That's what the Moses Simon's issue. Then that of Nwabali, it's unfortunate. You know, maybe I don't think Nwabali is a bad goalkeeper in my estimation. I know he can be erratic, he makes some stupid, foolish mistakes, but he's a good goalkeeper. And stop penalties. He just need to be calm. Nwabali not be bad goalkeeper for my estimation, personally. We've seen Nigerian goalkeepers being clubless in the past. Before USA 94, Peter Rufai was officially clubless. God bless his soul, Dodo Mayana. Because when he left, he was having issues with his then Dutch team. Go Ahead Eagles. He literally left them and went to Papenda for camp. It was after USA 94 and I got a contract from Farense in Portugal. It happens. Austin Eguavoen was having issues with his Division 2 Belgian team in 1994. Davy Kotrick. He had an issue with the ref. Those are racist rhetorics. He couldn't take it. It was literally late Uche Okafor was clubless before USA 94. Then you had good footballers, not now. Nigerian football has declined. That's why they are going to Moldova, going to this place where they call Lithuania and all that. Nigerian football has declined. You used to see some Unduka Ogba, they didn't have a team for a long time, but was playing for Super Eagles. Good players. You would not even know. You would not, because these players were, the talent was there, the dedication was there, the discipline was there.
I don't want to take it. Well, I just agree with you on some things. See, in 94, in 1990, the gap between amateur football and a pro football is not that. See, amateur footballer played for
True. Yeah, I agree. 100%.
You dare not try it now. You dare not try it. They will roast you. So it changed. No, that time we would take the risk. But with what is happening now, you mentioned Peter Rufai, the time that he did not play was not as much as Nwabali. Nwabali is like going like 6 months or so.
Rufai was almost 5 months that period though. Yeah, so because Rufai's last match for Super Eagles was the 6-1 win, Sunday Olise's debut for Nigeria against Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
When we won 6-1.
Yeah.
Peter Rufai scored the penalty in that game. That was Rufai. That was around, that should be July 1993. July 1993.
That was 1993.
Okay, good. So between July, because the AFCON was played in March in the 90s. Every AFCON was played in March. That's our CAF. That was the calendar of CAF. Between July of 1993 to March 1994, that's almost the space of 8 months. Yeah, you getting it?
But yeah.
I
know that it's
long.
But it's just that I know that
do you know that West Ham officially did not even invite Rufai for the AFCON 1994 team? He showed up by himself. Because he only invited Aloyagu with Fedagbon Ibare and Ike Shoromu.
Right.
So it was late immigration that spoke for him that Peter, no, come on, coach, allow him screen. when he eventually screened, he took the position from Wilfred.
Yeah, at that time, the first time Western came to Nigeria, there was friction between him and the
I know.
If you remember the game,
I know.
In Yaoundé, the last World Cup
in 1989, after Akor Adams died. Yes.
It was not in goal digger that was in goal
true.
that day. It was no goal digger that was in goal that day. So at that time, he openly called Western like a machinery. You call Western like a machinery that at the end of the day, Western, there was friction between the two of them. So, I know that, that one contributes to him not. People begged for Rufai to be there. And Western accepted Rufai to be there. Said, you know what? The keeper trainer should be the one to decide the fate of Rufai. It's no longer in his hands again. And when he...
Sweetlife is good. Yeah.
Guys,
I know Sweetlife good.
We need to round up because other people are waiting.
Yeah. Then lastly, 1 minute, IoT. What's the last thing I wanted? Said Nwabali said then that of Eric Chelle. See, may NFF, may they behave themselves. All of us, from the diaspora, will march go to the IAA office. They must retain Eric Chelle. Will cause pandemonium. They must retain that. You see, sometimes, whatever you tolerate too much will repeat it. Will keep repeating itself. We've tolerated these guys, these mediocres for too long now. What's going on? What's going on now? This is it. We are Nigerians. This is our football. We cannot allow some retarded scumbags. I will use this word. To just destroy Nigerian football has declined. What did they happen now? We cannot allow this thing for how long now? All of us go march, go down NFF office, go, may they behave themselves. We cannot have a coach that has brought stability to the team and on the play now stupid, foolish politics. I'm getting animated already. IoT, let other people come in. Make them behave themselves, man.
We'll sort out our challenge. Don't worry.
Man, make them behave themselves, man.
IoT. All right. Mr. Dedotu, just get ready. You have a challenger. We'll figure that one out. I think we'll find a good bit.
I don't think.
I will make sure.
How many do you have left now? Because it's already passed over.
We have three people waiting. 3 people. Let's just take three very quickly. So I have Mr. Shea has been waiting patiently. So yes, welcome, Mr. Shea.
Very happy to be here, guys.
Thank you.
IoT as meet. Greetings from Sydney, guys. I follow you guys here. I listen to you every time. Tuesday.
Is this your first time calling?
It's my first time. So having the patience to wait and talk on your platform is very first time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I do listen to IoT and even Smith, all his preview World Cup reviews and all that. IoT was running away from World Cup reviews and he doesn't do that. But Smith, he comes in to give us and your humble hearing Smith as well and all the arguments on your platform. I follow them. Great job you guys are doing, man. Football is what we like. I'm Nigerian and I live in Sydney now, but we follow our football. Like my people will say, why do you like following football, following what is happening in Nigeria? I said, I was a made man before I came here. Football was in the blood already. Super Eagles. Everything Super Eagles. But let me make a few comments. I know people are waiting before so that you guys can round up. On Nwabali, you see the issue with goalkeeping in our system, we have a problem. If you watch the World Cup, this European team, you wouldn't even know the goalkeeper's name, but they are very good. We have a fundamental problem with goalkeeping in Nigeria. When we were young, I grew up in Kaduna Rimi College. Nobody wants to be a goalkeeper. Only the lazy people. We want to be goalkeeper. So we have to fix that problem. We have to go to the academies and all that and train goalkeepers very well. I watched the World Cup, a goalkeeper that you don't even know where he's coming from, but he's defending against Messi. He's pushing all the balls away. Look at the Norway goalkeeper. Look at all of them. The fundamentals they know. Nwabali is just using the Nigerian spirit to do this thing. But what I'm happy about with Nwabali is that if you cannot go forward, you know how to go backward. Okay? And this part of what we say about this guy, he saves penalty, if not because our players could not score penalties in the World Cup qualifiers and the Nations Cup, Nwabali's save should be moving us forward. Okay? He saves penalties. But what I like about his situation is that when he couldn't go forward, he went back to this club and they accepted him back. It's not everybody they will do that for. That is the truth. It is not every goalkeeper, especially a goalkeeper, that will have left the club and then he couldn't find a way out and he went back to Chippa United and they say, okay, we will take you back. That for me is a positive. Okay, let's look at it from that way. Let me move on. That's about Nwabali. Falcons, you guys have analyzed very well. But you haven't spoken about one problem we have there. The problem is the left back position. Okay, Ashley Ponter is not there. That left back position, the opponents already know now. They're mapping out strategies. They know. They have analyzed our teams. And they know that Ashley Ponter is not there. Our left back is where they will be pushing. I watch the World Cup every time. They try to look for the weak link in the teams, and that's where 2 or 3 of them will be going to find where they will cross the ball. Ashley Ponter not being there is a big problem. I know that the girls can come up and the Nigerian spirit and win things for us, and we have a few stars there. Esther, Echejini, Ajibade. We have a few very good players there that will come up and change things. But let's begin to look at the problem we have. It's not a complete team yet. Very good goalkeeper, very good forward. Old, some of the defensive people are old already. They're not going to do as they used to do.
It's just one that is old now.
It's not just one.
Ohale is 32. I mean, the main is what, 24, 25. Oladipo is 22, 23.
What are Uchebe?
25. Uchebe is 26.
Yeah, so they're getting there. They're not 26 is no longer young, especially for the ladies game. So we do have some problem there in the defense. Let's look at that. Let me move on. I've talked about that. And I also want to talk about Akor Adams. I think that guy, nice guy, plays well. Look, when you live in the West here, some of the things that happen is not in your control. That is the truth. They will meet at that level, that top level, and those decisions are taken. And you just have to go along with it. That's what is happening to Akor Adams. If you ask him in his mind of mind, he's the kind of guy that wants to go to the top club, Chelsea, whatever you will talk about. But that's not in his hand. The club has to sell. And they want money. And this is probably their best bet to get some money. And this guy is just in the middle of it all. If he doesn't follow along, the next thing is they will put him on the bench for next season. They'll just bring down his career. So let's try to understand him and pray, like you guys have also analyzed, that it will turn out good for Akor Adams. I don't want to take too much of your time. I wanted to talk about the under-17s as well. I watched that Nigerian-China game. The thing with these Smiths, and you're not pointing this out to these guys. Where is the list? Who invited this team?
I said this.
Who invited? How can you just bring people together, ship them overseas, and say they're under 17? We haven't seen an official list of invitation for our under 17 team.
They will say it was a friendly tournament. So
no. This is a national team.
Australia released their list. Tanzania released their list. See, we are going to under 20 AFCON, under 20 WAFU in the next 12 days. All countries have submitted their list. Nigeria, no.
No, I saw a list
because
yesterday also.
No, that is the original list of 35 players. Talking about the 24 that will go to and play the Ivory Coast. There's no list yet. I know what they are doing. There's one boy they put on that list from Chippa United. See, let them put that list. Let that boy stay there.
Yeah. So this is the problem. We don't know who and who is there. So I look at the guys playing. The defense is not organized. We have a problem there, and we cannot keep quiet. Otherwise, we haven't been to the World Cup a couple of times now. We are not going to go again. And luckily for us, at least, they allow them to go for this tournament, and we can see what is going on. If they haven't allowed them to go, they'll keep them in a camp somewhere in Abuja until they go for the WAFCON B tournament, and then we'll start seeing stars again. You know, so now we can talk. Tell us how you invited this team together, how you put them together. Okay, if the coach is not talking, then we, the people, have to ask NFF, how did you get these players together? They're not good enough. Our under 17 used to be the pride of this nation. When they play, you see football. I like watching under 17 more than even the Super Eagles. You see natural talent from the time of the Osondus of this world.
Pure talent. Pure
natural talent. Poor V-ball.
You see juvenile football.
You know, they dribble, they race, they put the ball on the ground, they race. You know, they
yes.
You want to see, that's what you want to watch in football.
They're just learning how to speak. A, B, C. You know, you see that pure there, rough diamond.
Yes, that's real football. That's like the street football we used to play in Malali in Kaduna in those days, at Rimi College. You know, you see natural talent, God-given talent. This is not academy, you know, like all this European.
No packaging.
No, this is not academy taught. This is natural, God-given talent. That
Politician's son to go and be playing football. Continue.
No, so this is a problem. I wish you guys will tackle it a bit more. I will let you go. You know.
Chief, please. I don't shout tire. Juvenile football is a problem in Nigeria.
Yes, I agree.
I agree. I said it before. Maybe you can just wait for your sec. I said it before that we need to go to the 6 geopolitical zones and look for talents. See, you cannot sit in Lagos. I'm a scouting on this spot in Lagos. There is one academy in Imo State called Campus Academy that produced under the Ushe Christian Tucson. So you see, you know, Taye Academy, you see Simon Ben Academy, even Ikot Allah, that Zado Kumana came from.
Allah, yeah. So
yes, I've ever asked this question, that why is that those that they drop in our under 20 that they weren't doing well?
See, Smith, this was Sime we're all chatting today. Do you know that when he went for screening in Abuja, he almost missed out? It was the team doctor that called him back. He said it himself. It was the team doctor that called him back. Osimhen would have been selling Ragoli's water on Lagos Street. now we're all shouting Osimhen. He went to screening. The coach there, Amunike, didn't even see him, didn't even reckon with him. It was the team doctor. He keeps saying it, that I think he should go and give that team doctor some money, because it's like his angel that call him back in that screening and say, come, you are the guy that scored the 2 goals. So there are so many talent. Nigeria is a population of 230 million people on the streets all over the country. There is a lot of young talent that we need to fish out. The problem is that, like you guys are saying, there's so many things going on in the federation. The corruption is too much. The coaches are hungry. They are not being paid. So they're getting money from some of these guys. And Smith was talking about, also a journalist yesterday, that he's going to be in trouble, you know, with all these things.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sheyi. Thank you. You should come off, bro. Don't make it one and done.
I will try. The thing is the timing here in Sydney. Now is 10:30 a.m.
It's morning for you.
I gotta go to work and all that. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Shout out to you guys.
Take care, guys.
All right. Yeah. Prof Data, you're supposed to be next, but I cannot see you. Your camera is off, so I don't know. Maybe we're just going to have to skip you for today. Unfortunately, I like to hear from Prof Data, and he's a regular, but we cannot see you.
He's always busy.
Let's jump to.
If he doesn't, we can't join directly. He's always busy.
I'm Larry.
He's very good to Juventus. Why are you Juventus?
Smith, why are you angry? You don't need to be angry. I greet everybody. Let me start from
good afternoon or whichever. Good evening.
Yes. Let me start from Akor Adams.
Okay.
Very nice guy. Yeah, please, Smith, just lower your expectation. I understand. I myself, I wasn't happy, but he might be the special one that will liberate that team. And I see I see Akor Adams as a Johnny player. In theology, they will tell you that he's a missionary man. He will move from one place to another. Yeah, it's very painful, but it is what it is. It is what it is. He's a good player. Yes. Another one I want to talk about is Moses Simon's speech. I listened to the interview, and the interview is 47 minutes, 45 seconds.
You remember the exact length?
Yeah. If I am the chairman of Enugu Rangers, I will sue Moses Simon to court.
Why?
I'm coming. If I sue him to court, the reason why I will sue him to court will be, come and tell us who said that. In order truth to come out, I will sue Moses Simon to court. And you remember Peter B sued Kenneth. Come and tell the whole world the truth. Yes. Because this thing that Amobi said is going to investigate. No, sue him to court. Let him come and say the truth. Because it's a very, very serious case. And when you listen to the interview, Rangers wasn't the only one that rejected him. Para rejected him. Duffy rejected him. Who again? Kaduna kept him the same period that Rangers kept him. And when I listened to the whole thing, I was asking myself this question. During that period, is it any Yoruba or Hausa person in Rangers? If there is an Hausa person in Rangers, or there are 2 or 3, and Yoruba people are in Rangers, therefore there is a problem. Rangers is not the problem. I think Moses Simon is the problem. He needs to go back and ask himself, why is it that I go all these places, they rejected me? And he is blaming. You see, blaming. Okay, you went to Kwara. When they rejected you, why can't you say because I'm not from Kwara?
Well, because nobody mentioned that to him now, but in Rangers they mentioned.
If they mentioned to him, sue him, let him come and tell us who said it.
What if he does not remember the person?
It's a lie. It's a lie. Moses Simon, for him to talk about it, he has been keeping it in the mind. You see, right? That is my own thing.
But he has never said it until.
He never, and that is why he has been keeping it. That makes him to come out to say it. And he went to Ayers, they rejected him. He would have asked himself, why are they rejecting me? You see, right? These are the way I look at the whole thing. And when you look at him, he is somebody that I am better than this person. I am better than this. And when you go to the interview, they rejected me. I am better than this person. They picked this person. They rejected me. If he's listening, I will tell him, yes, if I'm the candidate, I will sue him. Let him come out and say the person. Because it's a very serious, it brings, the speech brings division. And there are some certain things that he said that was good in that interview. When he talked about that, in the next World Cup, 90% of us will not be there. So there are some things that he said about Eric Chelle, that the way Eric Chelle is doing things is very fine. But he said that I don't believe him until he come out to sue him. Let him come out and say the person that said it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my own thing. Yes, even if it's over 10 years.
Just, do you know the history of Rangers?
Do
you know what Rangers is built on?
Okay, I know that the Rangers, that was 70s. this thing happened 2012.
Yeah, I know,
Yes.
I know. And I said it here too when he asked me that the first non-Igbo player they signed was Adoke Ambasmaga from his Port Harcourt. And since then, so that all what they used to say in the dressing room then, they could not say it again. So the identity, so the thing changed around the late 70s. So sometimes I believe Simon that somebody said it to him, but what I'm just saying basically is that it might not be the identity of the club, but some miscreants is okay in that. For example, now I don't know, maybe I've been to offices in Nigeria before, want to do something. The boss might be a very decent man, but the subordinate might be collecting bribe for you to see the boss. So it might not be the identity of Rangers, which is not, but some miscreants that are tribalistic that are there might be the one orchestrating and putting this false narrative. So if Amobi should respond, Amobi should be able to say that, you know what, we don't represent this. If anybody is saying anything contrary, this is not Rangers.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes. But Smith, look at this for clarity's sake. This is truth. We want to find out the truth, right? Well, what I would do is 2012, 2010. Let me see. Is it only the Eagles? What happened?
No,
I'm coming.
It's not. See, before all those times, I know Rangers.
Yes, see, I get that point that it is built under this tribe of a thing, but
no, it's not that one. Since that time, when Rangers was in CAF Cup in 97 or 98, Rangers had even the middle person to play for Rangers. Rangers have players from the north, from the south, from the east. What I'm saying is that Rangers don't represent this.
Okay. I get your point.
Some miscreants in Rangers that are thieves, that are tribalistic. They might be the one pushing that narrative. It's okay. Which is this? For example, now you have the IG that is not corrupt, but some officer will still go and be putting hand in front of the listing. Want to collect bribe on the road. It's okay. They don't represent what the IG is pushing. It's okay. They are on their own doing those nonsense. So some people could be in Rangers too that are in that. So it's always like that in organizations.
For me, I look at it that the best explanation of that is look at national team. National team does not represent division by tribe.
Division, yes.
But there are some people in the national team that will still tell you, oh, you must call a Hausa person. Oh, you must call somebody from this region. That's kind of like the way it is. Nigerian constitution does not represent leadership by tribe. But you will still hear people that will say, oh, the president is from the south east or from the southwest. So the next president must be from the north. The next president must be from the east. So, the institution might not represent that. But like you say, it's still possible that one person could have just mentioned it to him that, I beg, be Igbo boy.
Please, look at Daniel. Correct him.
Very sick.
Correct that person.
Can you see? Is that all three of you are Yoruba?
Exactly.
You see the narrative.
This is an example of no, I'm Yoruba. You see the narratives, right? That is the problem for people. People can comprehend anything differently. But for me.
Sorry. Let me even say something. Even me, as we were talking, I was not even saying anything, but the person puts me in the middle of the. I was not even saying anything.
Yeah, but see, I want them to fish up that person. This is not supposed to slide because another person might say something to another club. Okay, Moses Simon have said it. Nothing. Another person might cook another story. How I wish that if I see Moses Simon, if I see Moses, I say, please mention the name. Let's go and drag the person. Mention names. It will be better. That's if somebody said this to you.
Yeah, I agree.
When you mention them,
if he does know the name of the person,
I am telling you.
then name them, shame them. The most he can say is maybe he can say he does not remember, it was on trial, he doesn't know, but if he knows who the person was,
let him just say it.
He might as well say it. He might as well say it. Okay, but homeboy, just move on quickly because
okay. See that Super Falcons. Odega should pray. Francisca Odega, just pray that Super Falcons will be in semi-finals. I am telling you, pray if you need that. Say, God, please let us be. If we come out of group stage, I don't know whether you will be in social media. He is not there by merit. She knew. Let her just pray that this team will reach semi-finals. Because if they crash out of group stage,
it's her fault.
Ayati, this question you asked,
I
know they are your girls, right?
No, it's not.
Don't. Is it that question?
No, it's not about that. I just want to understand what you are saying. Because if they crash out, so if she does not play and they crash out, you will still blame her. I'm just trying to understand what you are saying.
Let me just leave it by like that. I'm just praying for them to be in semi-final. If they crash out, there are people that they need to blame. And she will be one of them.
I see.
You see, right? Yeah, that's my own thing about it. Under 17. Well, I don't know what to say. Because when I listened to Thierry Henry, he said, if you look at those boys in France national team, street boys, they play street football. It's not people that are in town. People, if you go to the hood, they have passion to do something. I wish Nigeria all the best. All I know is that so far as Eric Chelle is there, I'm good. If it is out,
I also say it again. If Nigeria qualify for playoff instead of semi-final, it will start just normally.
That's my case. Ayati, you don't hear them. Thank you so much for bringing me. Thank you
very much. Thank you, Larry. All right. But today has actually been a very fun conversation. We started late, but even though we started late, we still managed to do 3 hours.
Yeah.
We still managed to do 3 hours. I was even supposed to go and pick something up at like 1 hour ago. I'm still here. They've probably left my thing on the, because they told me if I don't come on time, they will leave it outside. So I have to go and pick it up. But it's been a fun conversation, man. Thank you to everyone that engaged. We had over 170, 180 people, consecutively live as we were having this. So it was a nice chat. You guys are very engaged. I think there's one super chat comment that I did not take yet. Was from Man of Culture, says, how do I join the trivia contest? Man of Culture, just send me a DM on Instagram if you're interested. But this is not directed at you, even though I'm saying it after answering your question. If say fee hang, don't come and just put yourself where you are just going to look like a anyhow person. So if you want to enter, make sure that that you see the kind of people that we're putting in, people that have deep historical knowledge. So if you message me, tell me, do you want to do history or do you want to do current affairs? So tell me what your history. We're looking at 1980 to 2000. We're not going less than that for this round.
But a lot of people are saying,
but if you want to do current affairs, we're looking at 2010 to 2026. But history is 1980 to 2000. So send me a DM We'll see how many people are interested, and we'll try to, if we have enough people, we can do it like a tournament style. If it's just Mr. Ovie or two other people, then maybe if two people, maybe we'll first do Mr. Ovie versus whoever, maybe man of culture. Then the winner of that person will do Adedotun. Then the winner of that person can come and face our champions with
Champion with our way tournament.
But right now you're the top seed. So now that's why you are advanced.
Okay.
Right now you're number 1 seed. Make the junior boys they fight first. Then from there, if somebody beats you, then the person becomes the number 1 seed for the but yes, man of culture, thank you for that super chat. Yeah, so just send me a DM on Instagram.
I think it's serious because for him to go and you said it before, but
send it with super chat so that I will notice. Yes, so just send me that DM. It's going to be a fun one, and let's see. Me, I say it's like for me now and the encyclopedia. But let's see how it goes. Because even myself, if you watch match today, forget who scored the goal tomorrow. So, I don't know how this is. But yes, thank you very much, guys, man. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for engaging. If you've still not hit the like button on the video, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the like button. Even though you disagreed with something that we said, if you stayed and you watch, it means that you were enjoying it, even if you disagreed. So still hit the like button, and you can carry on the conversation after. Even after we go off, you can still leave comments. You can still engage. If you comment on this channel, I'm always replying people. I like the engagement. I like the entertainment. We have some big plans coming up later this summer. Like I mentioned, the Eagle Striker Awards. We've already started the rollout of the finalists. We'll complete that, and then between July 20th and July 22nd, all the award winners will be revealed. The WAFCON is coming up. My interview with Chidro Kanagboso is coming up. Other interviews that I have planned, I've been chasing Yakubu. He has still not committed to a time, but as far as he has not said no yet, I'll keep chasing him, and some other people like that, Leon Balogun as well. We're still hoping to get them, as well as some other current players, on the podcast. And then there's so much more for the new Premier League season. People have been asking us to do some Premier League shows, so we're going to add a little bit of Premier League, content into the channel. We'll be very, very focused on Nigerian players in the Premier League, but we'll talk about the league as a whole. If Wanyama goes, it gives us more to talk about. But we have almost 10 Nigerian players right now in England, so I think we can do a show around that. So yeah, any other suggestions, any other content that you guys want to see, man, feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll take the best suggestions and we'll try to make it work. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. I wish we could stay here forever, but we can't. So yes, on this note, I say goodbye from myself, Ayotsi, and my co-hosts. We'll see you next week.